Da-na-na-na-na. Score. All right. Hey, this is Rich, and we are playing an RPG, a tabletop RPG. This is part of the Gauntlet community, which is an online primarily, although there are some Meat Space Gauntlet groups. I'm just not one of them because I'm all online. We are thousands strong, or at least 1,000. I don't know. Fans and aficionados and fanatics, and with fancy short fanatics. Anyway, people who play tabletop RPGs online, and this is part of that. This is a game that I'm currently developing with some friends to do baseball, minor league baseball. It's called the Bat Hack, and it is based off of David Black's The Black Hack, which is an OSR themed RPG where you can play any D&D stuff with the Black Hack. It's players facing rolls of a D20 underneath your stat, and I've kind of adopted that, except we've tweaked the names of the stats to be baseball-y, and there's also a lot of focus around off-the-field stuff as well, because the player characters are all minor leaguers who are young men. I know, right? At some point, I may address and have like a league of their own style of this game. I think that would be really fun. But for now, young men in kind of yesteryear. I kind of generally put it in like an 80s, 90s type thing. Why am I not specific? Number one, if it worked for Danny Elfman and Batman, it can work for me. And number two, I just don't want to deal with Twitter and like being on video games. Like that just doesn't super thrill me. So that I'm old and I'm crotchety and get off my lawn, damn it. So we are playing the Championship Series, the Midwest Fall Cup Classic. This is in late August. And for anybody that knows minor league baseball, if you don't, that's okay. In September is kind of the September call-ups. This is when the rosters expand on the major league teams. And so they will pull up some minor leaguers, either to give them a cup of coffee, which is a phrase for getting a few at bats, a very brief period of time as a professional, or they'll pull them up because there are injuries on the major league team, or they want to show someone, see how they look as a pro because they have performed well in the minor leagues. Sometimes they do it to kind of tease other teams for trades. There's lots of reasons for a minor leaguer to get a chance to make the bigs and get up to the show, as it were called. And so this particular end of the year tournament for this league is very important because the people who've gone home, the teams who've gone home, they're not able to continue to show their aptitude and their skill set, their moxie. And so you want to keep playing, which is interesting to note because it is a round robin tournament. The winner and loser bracket. If you lose in the first round, you get kicked down to the loser bracket and continue to keep playing, which is exactly where our Gauntlet City Goblins are. Unfortunately, the Riften Dog Boys ate their lunch, and it was tight for a while, but losing that first run in the first inning, they gave up 3 runs, and there were a lot of times the Goblins they pushed, they threatened to score. There was some very poor calls by the base coach. He really kind of screwed the pooch, got overly aggressive, and pushed some players into some bad situations that killed a couple of potential rallies. And at the end of 9 innings, the Riften Dog Boys continued on towards the Midwest Divison Cup, and the Gauntlet City Goblins got to go on a 3.5-hour drive back to Gauntlet City, crash for a day, and then hop back on the bus to go to the losers bracket to Innsmouth. Which is where you guys are now. Now, Innsmouth, if you remember, Jim, you've played. Ski has played against the Innsmouth Old Ones. It was an away game then. So,
didn't we get into a bar fight against the old Innsmouth Old Ones?
Oh, yes.
There was an altercation, I recall, over somebody's sister or something like that. That was, yeah.
There was some fighting. And you probably remember that the outfield walls are built at non-Euclidean angles, so chasing after a dribbler is kind of a bitch. That the loudspeakers constantly playing um, music, but the music's always like in a weird off key, and it continues to drone on. And the crowd here and the drizzly, not quite enough to rain out the game. It never rains out the game, but it always seems like it's on the edge. Gray skies outside, broken, cracked concrete stands. It is the most miserable of all of Midwest.
Yeah, fish and chips instead of hot dogs. That was the weirdest thing.
Exactly. Yes. That is what you guys are dealing with. So let's do a quick reminder of people's characters, because Greg and Keith haven't had the joy of playing with Ski. So let's start off. Greg, could you please introduce us to your ball player character?
Sure. I'll be playing Douglas Bird. Douglas Bird is a bit of a legacy. His father, known as Big Bird, Douglas Bird has earned the moniker Little Bird because of that, and has kind of a chip on his shoulder about the whole thing. His first baseman in this game against the Innsmouth Old Ones, right at the end of the last game, had a really nice highlight play where he passed the ball up to one of the only Goblin fans in the stands. Let's see what else. Oh, also, Douglas Bird is pulling night shift jobs with his father's company. His father has retired from baseball and started a security company, and he works security at a grocery store. And with his major injury, spent the whole time icing his ankle with frozen peas from the frozen food section. Yep.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for reminding us about Little Bird. Keith, please remind us of your character.
JJ Hawk, center fielder. You've played next to him, I imagine, for quite a few games. The only thing faster than his feet is his mouth. He loves to give a hard time to the opposing catchers on base, the opposing opposing catchers when he's batting, opposing first baseman when he's on base, the opposing teammates in the bar. Also got into a bar fight, so I'm noticing a bit of a theme. If you call it a fight where he took one punch and went down, not a super muscly type, but he likes to get on base. He likes to steal bases, and definitely a clubhouse personality and one of the spark plugs of the Goblins. Rooms with three of the other guys on the team, and has gotten to know them very well, and has a penchant for 80s hair metal.
Indeed. Oh, yeah. And so, Jim, introduce your lovely character.
I am Stash Molnarski, and everyone on the team just calls me Ski, and that's what I actually have on the back of my uniform. It's just SKI, Ski. And Stash is a Stash gets by more on charisma and just being a just kind of genuinely affable, likable guy than necessarily any like outsized baseball talent. And he is uncynical about the game. He genuinely loves playing baseball. He would, like, if the Goblins charged him to play on the team, he would pay. But the fact that he gets paid money to play baseball is amazing and will never not be amazing to him. So that's kind of his whole outlook, is that it is a, it's a absolute privilege to be here, and it's awesome, and he's going to enjoy it for as long as they'll let him be here. Stash has a job playing in his dad's polka band. So Ski is he brings his accordions to games, and when there's like a rally, he will stand up on top of the dugout and play the, instead of the organ, he'll play, like, if there is an organ, he'll play along with it, and stuff like that, and the fans just like think that is just hilarious, and I think he is. And so he's a right fielder. He has he's a decent fielder, a decent hitter, to the extent that he is he's got anything to recommend him. I think it's probably he's got a good arm coming out of right field there. But he's one of the team's lefties. So that's sort of where we're at with Ski.
Indeed. And Ski's family brought you here. You guys had a gig. That's one of the reasons why you're showing up a little bit late, mostly because I just want some polka music playing occasionally from the small Goblins section. Everything in the Innsmouth Stadium is pretty small. Yes, like it's a little patch of sun that shines down on the Ski family as they play. Stan is Ski's dad. He's the band leader in more ways than just the title. Ski's oldest sister, who's just a wee bit younger than her, is Stella. So I'm curious, JJ or Little Bird, which of the two of you have your eyes on Stella Molnarski? I just always have to look at the name a couple times before it gets in my head.
I mean, it doesn't have to be either or on that one.
I know. It could be both. You guys could be either. You don't have to dice for it.
Comes from that good Polish stock, you know? Those cheekbones, my goodness.
Mm-hmm. And, she's a good cook, too. She can make a mean crap. I can't remember what that's called. The potato...
Pierogies. That's the other reason everyone likes Ski, is because Ski's always bringing pierogies and kielbasa and stuffed cabbage and stuff to the dugout. So yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys think about it, and maybe we'll bring it into play. We have some bookkeeping to do, because in the current playtest version of the Bad Hack, if you survive a game session and are not injured at the end of it, you get to make a level. And in making a level with the Black Hack, works the same way in the Bat Hack. You roll a d20 and you are trying to roll above your stat, which means if you have sucky stats, it's real easy. And if you roll above it, then you go up one tick, right? Which is awesome. And we have 2 players from last session, so let's do that. JJ, you will be going up to 3rd level, and Little Bird, you'll be hitting 2nd level. And then next week, when we are rejoined by Walter and David Williams, he will make his 2nd level. So kind of saying that out loud as a helpful reminder to ask Walter to do that. So you guys have the roll for your party link. I'm just gonna...
I just need people to notice that is a 19 by JJ's name. He rolled over his 17 speed.
You are kidding me. That
He's gotten faster.
You are insane. How do you get faster? Oh,
he's definitely cheating somehow.
Oh, there's the 19. I saw the blue. Okay, cool. And so David's over here. Can't remember what color you were for Little Bird.
I gained 1 leadership, which shouldn't surprise anyone. I had a leadership of 5.
You go from no one listens to you to now the towel boy listens to you. Nice. And don't forget that based off of your position, you get to roll twice for a couple. So hitting and likability for Little Bird, and for JJ, speed and hit. Doesn't mean you can go up twice. It just means it's like rolling with advantage. You get to roll 2d20, and you take the better of the 2.
And just to clarify, you have to exceed, right? It is not equal.
You do need to exceed.
And
Actually, since you guys are doing that, let me just quickly double check. I'd hate to misquote my own rules that I'm playtesting. 100% check it. You think
it was a losing game, but it was a very productive game for JJ. Faster, better hitting, and better at fielding.
If the result is higher, that stat increases by 1. There you go. Even you learn even when you lose. That's what it's all about.
I actually did improve my hitting.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm still the glass cannon. 1 HP, 17 hitting.
Wow. I thought you. Oh, that's right. You rolled total poop on your effect die to heal. That's right. You're evidently putting peas on your knee while still working and walking around on it. Not the best way.
Not enough. Not
It's
enough.
Live and learn.
Yeah. Yeah. Live and learn, or end up as the permanent security guard for that grocery store. Okay. Ah, man. Okay, so if you guys cast your eyes, we will go to game time here. And we are in game 2. Let me turn that volume down a little bit. I don't want to have to shout over my own. You guys are playing against the Innsmouth Old Ones, who, of course, have cute Cthulhuoid mascot. It's the only cute thing about the entire place, because no one would buy the authentic Cthulhuoid merchandise. Still sitting on, like there's a sign, buy one, get one. And so nobody gets it though. So the Innsmouth Old Ones have scored 3 times. In the 5th inning, that third score was enough to knock out Jordan the Bus Foley. And Hobie the Nibbler Harris is now your pitcher, not the starting pitcher. He was brought in the bottom of the 5th. There was a threat for the Old Ones to score even more. You guys have eked out a couple runs. So as we come into the top of the 7th, the Gauntlet City Goblins are only down by 1 run. I'm curious, Little Bird, I see here that there was an error committed during the game. By the way, this is your batting order. These are the people that are on the field. Who, you can roll a D8 if you want, who committed that error? Actually, you can't roll a D9, but roll a D10 if you want, or you can choose any of these folks who committed the error that is sitting right here, and then I will tell you what that error was.
You know, I'm tempted just to say it was me.
All right, sweet.
Because I've got that bum ankle, and although I may have pulled off that amazing spin out at first base, I think, at another time, my ankle got the best of me, and I wasn't able to make the play.
Oh, that's great. I love that. You're supposed to just kind of break that spin play. You were able to put all your weight on your good leg. But this one, it was hit just straight down the line. Your left leg was the one that's hurting. I'm just going to be a dork and say that this reminds me of a moment that will be forever burned in my mind playing Tony La Russa baseball when we were allowed to bring back this is a stupid rule we had for one season where you could bring back historical characters, and I don't know why, but I was fascinated with Steve Balboni, known as Bones, who, as the argument, had a 1 range. It's on a scale of 1 to 10, and once he was playing first base, he was first base line, and it was literally like this far away, and his entire defensive play was to go. That was it. He didn't even make a move. He just literally, the figure just flipped around. It was just like, and that was his whole play. And that's what, in my mind, that's my headcanon for Little Bird's play. The hot grounder that shot down the first base line. And unfortunately, that's when Nibbler came in and was able to kind of get you guys out of the bottom of the 5th, only giving up 1 run. That was the error that was committed. Okay, so top of the 7th, and just because I want to see you guys do some baseball-y stuff, you're at the top of the Ian Fielding. That's right, darn straight. Little Stratomatic jokes going on in the chat, guys. It's next level nerdery here. The slice, my joke that I always make of the Venn diagram, the tiny slice of humor. I'm going to be eating it up. So
I feel like baseball would be the most RPG sport.
I know you would feel
like
like there's so
the
many
diatribe for another
stats,
time.
but like, and is the last thing, I think they would all want to roll like D1000 for the batting average. Like it would get so micromanaged.
You need to get the Dungeon Crawl Classics dice if you're
yeah, dude. Okay, so anyway, we are at the top of the 7th, the top of the order. which means that Hobie, like they may have known what was no, that's right. That means that Mike Hernandez had the bus hit for himself, thinking he was going to go into the 7th, but then it didn't work out. Yeah. Okay. No, that's not possible because he came out in the 5th. Doesn't matter. JJ, top of the 7th, you're batting. I just realized that I screwed up my own storyline there. So JJ, we hear over the crackling speakers, "Here I Go Again" by Whitesnake, going down the only road I've ever known.
It's like a few RPM shy of where it should be.
Yeah, it's
Light warble.
Yeah. Tawny Katane would be stumbling across a pair of cars if she had to listen to that music. And then, all right, so the hurler for the Innsmouth Old Ones is none other than Gerson Bautista. He has a killer split finger, and he did not start the game. So this could be a tough inning. He's a starting pitcher, but the Old Ones, with their head coach, none other than Harry P. Lovecraft, the manager of the team, really wants to win. So he's pulled one of his starting pitchers out. Now, he is normally a challenge 3 pitcher. So you being second level, JJ, that means there's third level. You can even it out. Sorry, you just made.
I've played a lot.
You played a lot, sir. Being third level, you do not have any detriment towards your role. So as you come up to bat, the mud is kind of caked in your cleats, just always clingy and cold. And so as you come up to bat, remember, just a quick reminder for the options that you have when you come up to bat. So when you come up to bat, you can swing for the fences. You can try to hit it where they ain't. It's just get up, see the ball, hit the ball. Or you can try to bunt, get an infield hit, or kind of play it for a walk. Either of those, all of those options, you would roll with speed, but you roll with disadvantage. And when you hit it hit it for the fences, you're going to roll hitting with disadvantage. And if you just go up for a regular at bat, then you just roll hitting. And with no differences in the challenge ratings, you're just going to need to roll under your hitting stat of 11 or under your speed stat of 18.
Even with disadvantage, it seems like that's the wise thing to do.
You are
looking down
of the Gauntlet City Goblins.
Looking down at third base, seeing what. Oh gosh, who's our third base coach? I don't remember his name.
He did not travel with you guys.
Oh,
Eric Duncan. I actually have even changed it in the lineup. Right now, Gary Ingram is at third base because Eric Duncan stayed home. He wasn't feeling well, Mike tells you all.
So I'll look down at our replacement third base coach, see if he's flashing any signs or if he's too scared to give any direction.
Gary was a third baseman himself. Back in the day, he is actually pushing 60 and has retired 5 times from not from playing, but from being a manager. People keep bringing him back to tutor others, and he gives you a couple signs of just get on base, kid. It is too late in the game to play squirrely.
All right, I've improved my hitting, and I'm curious to see if I can make this happen.
Cool.
So I'm just gonna hit it where they ain't.
All right. So that split finger comes in, it just drops out on you. Go ahead and roll a d20, and you want to get underneath your 14.
Oh, I don't have a 14 for hitting.
I'm sorry. I'm
at 11.
Totally wrong. An 11. You get under your 11. Where did I get 14?
Who are these guys that have 14 in hitting?
I don't know. What am I saying? Stop with the smoking, the whatevers.
See? 9.
Oh my goodness! All right, fantastic. So that means you have you've got a good chance for a hit. Now, your effect die, JJ, is a D6. Do not forget that due to a highlighted play, you guys have a D8 usage die for the team. Do you want to roll your own effect die, or would you like to try to steal that team usage die?
There are some really exciting results up on the higher end of the effect roll that I don't normally have access to. So I'm going to use that D8.
All right, cool. Why don't you go ahead and roll that D8? And I've got my eagle eyes on the screen to my right on my other monitor.
Is this one of those times that the scrawny guy manages to pop one a foot over the fence? Let's see.
We shall see. Tie the game. Pretty ugly.
All right. Oh, 7!
Oh my god, that's awesome. Okay, so 7 is a triple. And so what does this look like? Is this one of those where it's one of those that looks like it's going to be a home run and it scoots off because it bounces off the non-Euclidean angled walls?
I think it does have to do with the angle of the walls. It's got to be that. It's not exactly a frozen rope, but in the retelling, JJ will call it that. It's a humpback liner, and the guy misplays it a little bit, and when it hits the wall, it's just bouncing around out there. And probably most guys would be, comfortable just cruising into second and saying, I got a double, I'm in scoring position. But JJ is just tearing off, and his cleats are digging up the fetid soil of the infield as he's rounding second, going into third, slides face first, immediately regrets it as the cloud of dust pillows up and he inhales a lungful of Innsmouth's finest dirt.
That black oil beneath.
The umpire extends his arms left and right, and that's the important part.
Nice. And you've got this like goopy grayish mud that's all along your chest, JJ. And the polka band strikes up a very jaunty tune celebrating your triple, which is fantastic. And you didn't even reduce the usage die, so still out there for others. That is fantastic. Way to go. We will add a hit there to the team. You guys have no outs. When Hoyjun Park comes up to bat, Hoyjun Park is going to be using the team usage die. So we're at the beginning of the game. Who would like to be the alpha roller of our popcorn initiative?
Stash, do you want to take it since you're up?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Go ahead and roll that D8.
I'm going to roll a D8. I'm just going to roll it on I'm going to roll my green one on the screen here.
I see it. It was a 3?
Nope. It's a 1.
Okay. All right. So Hoyjun Park gets up and he tries and he ends up popping it up. It's a weak infield single. It's the thing where you kind of dance away, JJ, but you're not threatening to score because it does not even get past the pitcher. And the pitcher catches it and he walks you back to third base. And the team usage die goes down to a D6.
Oh, sorry.
It was one bright shining moment, but it's gone now.
However, it is still the top of the 7th, only 1 out. And that is when Little Bird, we first hear the sounds of Free Bird, guitar solo only, playing over the speakers. It warbles a bit more than you recall. It just doesn't quite sound exactly right, but it's enough to get you excited as the home announcer says, "Not bad. Ugly bird." They come up and there's a few like.
I'm going to focus my attention on the one happy kid who's jumping up and down.
Oh man, the one kid's going crazy, and Stella Molnarski is there as well, and she, "Let's go, little bird!" And you hear the oompa 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 sound from the polka band as they're trying to get things going. You are up to bat, Douglas Bird, and you have a heck of a hitting. Now, we have adjusted based off of feedback one of the first baseman's special features.
I saw that, and I'm A plus okay with that.
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight it in case you
yep.
thought, oh yeah, I'll just do this thing, as I have
Well,
limited that.
I was thinking about that, and then I was like, oh, it changed it. Yeah, no, that's good. So I will save that for later. I'm gonna hit it where they ain't to try and advance JJ.
A base
here.
hit's a run, as they say. And so you come up to bat. The pitcher is trying to pitch around you. And he is a pretty great pitcher. So he has that still challenge rating of 3. And you've got your second level, which means you've got a -1 to your stat. So instead of rolling underneath your hitting of 17, you need to roll underneath 16. A 16.
All right, here we go. Hoping for like a 3.
Oh
no, it's a 16.
Oh my goodness! If only he wasn't challenge rating a 3. That okay. So here's what happens. You hit the ball pretty hard, but it's a pretty long fly ball, and you hear JJ. You know it's an out, but you're hoping that it could be a sacrifice fly, and you hear Gary Ingram, the third base coach, say, "Yeah, go ahead and tag up. Go ahead and tag up."
Gary, why are you whispering? Everybody knows I want to tag up.
Kevin Taylor is the right fielder, and he has a shotgun arm. So I'm going to say that you have got, and I'm curious to see how this will go. You will need to leg it out to get home. You've got to be a challenge rating of 2. Now, you being third level means it's a flat roll. You just need to roll under a frickin' 18. So I'm hoping for a 20, but you can hope for whatever number you like.
I'm hoping for 17 numbers.
There's 17 different numbers you will take with alacrity. Although if you roll like under a 7 or under, then
that would be the best. Yeah, there's a legitimate chance for a highlight play on this one. And this is the kind of moment that JJ lives for, because he's playing it for the challenge. So knowing that it's one of the best guys out there and he's testing his prime asset against this guy's prime asset.
Yeah, and the guy, he has a chance. He like sets. He's already ready. He snags it, and he's already moving forward. And that arm comes over, straight overhand. In the catcher, who I will look up his name because I at least want to know who it is. He gets up and blocks the plate. It is Mazika. Yeah, he is there. He is looking at it, and he's ready to take it, receive that ball. Let's see how you.
Oh, he knows. He knows what's happening.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. 5.
Oh my! So this is a highlight play. So you have to tell me what it is that you do that is inspiring to the rest of the team that will boost that usage die from a D6 back up to the D8.
So the right fielder, whose name I've already forgotten. I know he's got a hose though, so that's the important part here. Taylor, he wins the individual matchup. Like the ball gets there first. It's a one hopper from deep in right field, but it bounces on the dirt, so it's a clean bounce. Patty picks it. He's got me dead to rights. There's even a step where like it's clear the tag's gonna come down there, and I just slide not towards home. I'm sliding an arm's length away, chest first, going by, and just do one of those, just tap it with the pinky on the way by, just at the right moment on the black of the plate. Patty spins around looking for me, trying to find it. And he just does one of those like, I just look up at him.
And the ump is like, yeah, he's safe. He's safe. And then there's this low groaning noise from the crowd as they raise to their feet and offer their complaints. There's someone like, we'll take you to the yellow man. Have you seen the yellow sign? There are all these prophetic things about the terrible ump and then the doom that they have brought to Innsmouth.
And Ski was in the on deck circle.
Yes.
So he's like right there like as he comes and taps and like, woo, you know, and I'm like helping him up, and I'm like brushing your uniform off and stuff, and you know, and I'm like, oh, you got a little something on your cheek there, buddy, you know, and just like, you know, slapping him on the back, and yeah, just super cool.
I think maybe even you were like, because sometimes they'll watch and be like, you should go to this side because the throws come in there.
Yes,
and gave
yep,
it just that much of the edge.
Yep.
Do we have any kind of like ridiculous handshake, high five, elbow bump thing or whatever?
I think, you know what? I think that if you and I are regularly in the lineup together, the like we do a super complicated handshake slap thing that is just ridiculous, that like doesn't have an actual pattern to it. that like we'll do it until one or the other of us cracks up.
Okay.
Like if it's, you know, like if something cool just happened, we'll like just do it until we're just like laughing. And so yeah, that's yeah.
So I smack you on the ass because that's what ball players do.
Yes,
now go get us the lead.
Yes, yeah. I say extra cabbage for you tonight, sir.
Don't Let's Start by They Might Be Giants starts playing over the loudspeaker, and you are coming up to bat finally after congratulating your teammate. The bases are clear. There are 2 outs for you.
And I walk up, you know, and I walk up to the plate, and I like look at the catcher and I say, don't worry about it, buddy. None of us have ever seen him do that either. And so, yeah, walk up, you know, bang cleats, and get into my, you know, Dwight Evans, like, you know,
there's a lot of business going on there.
Yes, yeah, exactly, yeah, like until he starts the windup, and then it kind of comes down on my shoulder, and you know, but we'll see. So, I'm just for fun, I'm gonna swing away here.
Okay.
And see what happens.
All right. So if you're going to swing away, don't forget he has a challenge rating of 3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you need to get underneath. You're hitting -1, so get under a 10.
Yeah, I need a 9 or less. So,
right,
we'll see what happens. So this is probably not going to work, but we'll see. Nope. That's a 16.
16. All right. So you crack the bat, but unfortunately, it is right to the shortstop. Shortstop for the Innsmouth Old Ones, none other than Andrew Eli. Eli snags that one out of the air. It's one of those where he does like a quick standing jump, and you can see the web kind of gets taken back a little bit, but he ice cream cones it, comes down and tosses it towards the pitcher, and they run off the field, and that ends the top of the 7th inning. Ski, who is going to roll for the bottom half of the inning? Who's the roller?
Why don't we have Keith go ahead and roll?
All right.
All right. And this is the D20 for defense.
Diamond Crawl for the opposition half.
Let's see. 20.
Oh my! So a 20.
I hope that's good.
Half is great. It's a no scoring opponent.
All right.
Team shutdown. Again, it's the reverse. You want to roll well when you're rolling, but when you roll the team stuff, it's high. I take it under advisement to flip that. So how did the Nibbler do? Was it one of those where he shut them down, or was it just 3 really good defensive plays? They don't get a hit, no errors. It's 3 up, 3 down, but is it defensive plays, or did Nibbler actually get them to chase a bunch of them?
I think he bookends them with strikeouts, doing, as his nickname implies, just dancing on the black, throwing them some off speed and breaking stuff that they're swinging uselessly at. And there is one pretty routine weak grounder, it goes out to David at third.
Nice.
He makes it routine. They just don't look like they're capable of mounting an offensive threat, at least in the 7th. But Nibbler can't get out there for the rest of the game.
It is tied at the. Oh man, I forgot that we did the middle of the set. We should have done the stretch, but oh well. Yeah, something stretch comes and goes, and there's a war between the. I think there's like a sousaphone quartet that play for the old ones, some kind of dirge.
They'd have bagpipes.
Oh yes, good call.
Yeah,
Totally
they would definitely have bagpipes. Yeah, because bagpipes versus accordions is just like that's
pretty painful. I love it. So that happens, and then the bottom of the 7th, Nibbler gets them 3 up, 3 down, and the top of the 8th. So we have a row of non-player characters. Do you guys want to make a diamond crawl roll, or do you want to make a series of effect die rolls here? Or not effect die, team usage die rolls. Totally up to you. Actually, it would be, I guess, up to the roller. It would be up to, it's gone to Keith, so it was switched off to Greg. So, Greg, you can make this choice. Do you want to make a series of usage die rolls for the batters, or do you want to just roll a d20 to effectively simulate the entire half inning or entire inning, because it'd be the defensive part too?
I think it's more interesting if we go through the team using usage die. So I'm rolling for David Williams.
You are rolling for David Williams.
All right. David Williams is a solid third baseman.
It's played by Sir not appearing in today's film.
Sir not appearing in today's episode. Here we go. Ooh, that's a 2. So that's an out, but the die remains.
2 is team usage die on 2 is out. Die size remains the same. So what happens? David Williams, he pops up, but it ends up he knocks a few foul balls, like high foul balls at one of them. The left fielder goes after Connor Panas, and he almost catches it, but it ends up in the front row. That little kid gets it. He like races around. He's got the ball. He's very excited. He wants to get you to sign it, little bird, later. And then eventually David goes out. He just strikes out, and he's out. So yeah, he just heads back to the dugout.
So back to the alpha roller.
Yep. All right, Jim.
All right.
Usage die.
Yeah, that's fun. So let me go ahead and do that. So next we've got who's in the roster here?
Rick DeVore. I'm sorry, Terrence Robertson, your left fielder.
Terrence Robertson, our left fielder.
But nothing compared to JJ. And you'll be rolling a D8 because it's never back up to the D8 thanks to JJ's.
You bet. Let's see what we got here. That is an 8.
Oh, my. So on the team usage die, an 8 is a home run. Wow. Not to be outdone by the incredible score that JJ pulled off. Terrence Robertson knocks a long one. Like, he sends it to the drink. Now, Jim, you were here last session when we described that there's a pool, a stagnant pool outside of center and right field, where in the inaugural season there were men who went out in canoes and then they were never seen again. So now it just goes into the water and ball's gone. Nobody gets after it. That is it. And it is a round tripper for Terrence Robertson, and KGOB is going crazy. This is it. This is the kind of hitting that we hope to see against the Riften Dog Boys, but this is it. Someone woke up the bats. It was JJ Hawk. JJ woke up the bats. The Ismith Oldmans don't know what's coming for them. The sleeping giant has awoken. And so Terrence Robertson, very workmanlike. He doesn't like show off a whole lot. He just kind of gets around the bases, and you guys line up and a bunch of back padding and everything. And you have taken the lead. It is now 4-3. And so it comes to Keith. You have the choice. Brick DeVore is up to bat. You can use that team usage die, or you can go ahead and simulate the rest of the inning.
I definitely want to see Brick bat.
Brick. Sorry.
I didn't even mean to. But if I get to roll the D8, I'm into that. Let's see what happens. It's a 7 again.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, Gerson Bautista is getting shellacked, as this is the first triple of the season for Fireplug, station to station runner, catcher, Brick DeVore.
Might be first triple of his career. Something's gone seriously wrong for him to be on third base.
He will later tell you guys that he got 2 triples in high school, so shut up. Remember, high school was 15 years ago for him, as Brick has been around for a long time.
I can't remember the last time I played the 3-bag polka twice in one game. That's, yeah.
The 3-bag polka. I love that you guys have a 3-bag polka. That's great. So there you have Brick standing on third with 1 out in the top of the 8th, and Gosuke Keto comes up to bat. Who pitches next, or who's the next chooser there? Keith,
I'll just keep it in order. Give it back to Greg.
All right.
Let's see how Kato does.
Looks like this D8 is pretty powerful. This is interesting. This is really good. I'm glad you guys.
That's a reroll of a 2.
Oh my! So basically, you guys need to skip Greg, but that's okay. So Gosuke gets excited. He comes up to bat. There's some kind of weird techno song that he has. His walk-up song, no lyrics, just like a dubstep weird something going on, and he almost gets beamed. But then he ends up going down on strikes to Gerson Bautista. The Harry P. Lovecraft is consulting with the pitching coach, Sandy Peterson, and they have gotten Ricky Knapp and Johnny Magliozzi up, and they are up in the pen, getting ready to potentially come in and take out Gerson, because it looks like Gerson's split finger is not working for him this inning. So there are 2 outs, and Hobie the Nibbler is scheduled to come up to bat, being the pitcher's slot. So Greg, who is the next in line?
Yeah, back to Jim.
All right, Jim. So first of all, you can choose. Are we going to bring in a pinch hitter for Hobie? Or does he come up and...
No, I think we're in the, I mean, we have closers, right? We have closers we can use.
You do? No shame? No shame?
Yes, yeah. No, they're going to, if we can put a base runner on or another run on the board, we want to do that, I think.
Okay, you've got 2 outs, so it's not a sack fly opportunity. Yep. Hobie will be hitting the showers, and that is A-okay. You hear the Rodriguez family, the Gonzalez family, as well as all the skis, are giving him a hand, and that one kid's like, "Yeah, way to go!" That's the Little Bird fan, and I think Chaz A. Bear will be coming in to pitch next. But now you guys have a pinch hitter. And I think that what we will have is Devin Orville will be coming in. You guys remember Devin's the young kid, made that terrible play, kind of blamed himself, but you talked him out of it, JJ, kind of restored his faith in humanity. So here he is, top of the 8th, man on third, and he could really give a little bit of distance here. So you get to roll that D8 there, Jimbo.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's a 1.
Oh, man. All right.
Ever the GOAT.
Yep. So Devin hits a long fly ball. It is warning track power, but unfortunately, it is right in the wheelhouse of Kevin Taylor, and he snags that. And so Brick is unable to score left on base, and he's pretty sad about that. But hey, what are you going to do?
He's coming in like, guys, I tripled and nobody scored me.
No, 2 outs. I could have. So that is the into the top of the 8th, and now, Jim, who rolls next for the bottom half of the inning?
Does that step our die down? Is that what happens?
It does. Thank you for that reminder. So we'll take that down to a D6. I should make you do it, shouldn't I? I'm going to make you do it. I'm
sure.
You have to drop it down because you're.
There we go. Boom.
All right. You don't care nearly as much as I was hoping you would. That's okay. So Jim, who gets to roll next?
Let's we'll for a little variety, we'll jump to Greg. Go ahead and take us out.
Vive la défense.
Devin got an out. Cato got an out.
Oh, we're in the defensive half of the inning. So bottom of the 8th.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So you'll be rolling the D20 for the opposition half inning.
And that was me or that was Keith?
He said you.
Oh, okay.
Switched it up for a little bit of difference.
All right, here we go. That's a 1.
Oh, okay. So
that's the rolling player.
Nobody else is allowed to roll anymore.
Rolling player is hurt. Roll effect die. Oh man, you're out regardless.
Own effect die on myself.
On yourself.
Can I substitute the
team users die? Here's the deal: you have 1 hit point. It doesn't matter what you roll. You can't go negative.
You know, the D10s, they have that 0 on them. Anyway, okay.
If he only loses 1 point, then he's just unconscious and he's not dead.
It's gonna bleed out. No, it would. So we got to figure out what happened. I think you get. Yeah. Here's we go. So you have an opportunity. There are 2 outs, and there's a man on third because you've rolled a 1. So there's 2 outs, a man on third, and Ghost K, the shortstop, fields it cleanly, sends it your way, but you put a little too much weight on that bad leg, and your knee gives out, and it's so much pain that you just drop. Like you can't even try to raise your glove up, and it just skims off the top of your glove, and unfortunately, it is now tied. You guys are able to get out of the inning, but not with a healthy little bird. The kid, he's beside himself. He's crying into his dad's arms, just like holding that ball he's going to have you sign.
I think they take me out on a stretcher this time because I was able to walk it off last time, but I'm taken off in a stretcher by the Innsmouth paramedics, who are super creepy. I'm trying to
wearing plague doctor masks.
They are. They're totally wearing the plague doctor masks. One of them is played by Jeffrey Combs, because that's just the creepiest doctor ever. And it does not look good for you. Do you want to drop back into Brick DeVore play there?
Sure, I'll go back to playing Brick.
You can brag about your triple now for the rest of the game. So it's the top of the 9th, and JJ is up the bat, I think.
Normally, if you're injured, would you roll your effect die or not?
You would, but any die result he got would take him out, and I don't worry about going negative. You just
and if he's rolling his, it doesn't matter. It's only if he's rolling the teams, then it could step down.
Right. Yeah, if you roll the teams, you're basically just only increasing the chance of screwing yourself. So,
I mean, I could see Little Bird. If I'm out, you guys should lose.
You learned a little something about leadership last game.
Yeah.
Very like 5% of leadership. He learned it.
Well, I think it's time now to break open some of the special abilities because it's tied. We can't go into the bottom of the 9th tied. I don't know how good our closer is. But the once per game set, you can lay down a perfect bunt to move the base runner or get on base to steal.
Okay, that is fantastic. So you lay down that bunt. Let's see. So we've got, I think we pulled a double switch. I'm going to say we pulled no, we didn't pull a double switch because he wasn't injured. So Who do we bring in for? I think it's Tim Lynch. Tim Lynch is currently subbing in for you there, Douglas Bird. So stick him in. On a sec. Sorry, just doing a quick bit of doctoring here. Oh, I grabbed the wrong. Hear him. It is Tim Lynch. Come on. You never know that I use Excel at work, right? You wouldn't know that at all because I keep screwing up. All right, so
That makes sense.
All right. So then, JJ, you're up. You lay down a perfect bunt. It is the most beautiful bunt. It's one of those where it just keeps like the third baseline is like this. And he just rolls, and the third baseman comes up and he watches it. It just keeps going.
I think it stops like dead between the third baseman and the pitcher. And some fans swear they saw a hand reach up and grab it right there. But it was just timed well.
Yeah.
Just timed well. You are on first base. And despite himself knowing what Eric Duncan went through, as Hoy-Jung Park comes up to bat, Gary Ingram gives you the sign to steal.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't, I would anyway.
All right.
I mean, it's the ninth inning. It's time to make that happen. Is this speed with disadvantage, straight speed?
Oh, that is a great question. So when you steal a base, you would roll against. It's just a regular challenge rating, I'm sorry. It's a regular just roll under. But I set a rating for the challenge. To steal second is typically a 2, but you are renowned as a base thief.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say it's a 3, which means it's even ups. You're probably still going to take that base, but you had to roll for it.
They know I'm going, so yeah, it's the reputation precedes me. It's possible they may even do a pitch out, but like,
who was the last person to roll? Who was our alpha roller last time? It was Greg, right? Cool. So we'll deal with you, and then we'll need to roll the usage die to see how poor old Hoy does.
Alrighty. Let's see if this steal works or if I go down an ignominious defeat. It's an 11. It's fine.
It's like, it could have been a highlight opportunity, but it's good Lord, you guys rolling the D10s. That I don't want to see that, but yeah, okay, maybe I do. Sweet. So with 11, you take it. Do you? Is it like a no contest kind of thing, or?
It's fairly close. Like Mazeka gets it there in time. There's a tag, but I'm just already there. It's not like nothing outlandish or showboaty. It's just
so he slaps. He basically hits you on the butt because you've already kind of slid past the base quite a bit there. And stay on it. It's not like you're gonna roll off. And now, Tim Lynch. Oh, sorry. We need to roll for Hoy-Jung Park.
Okay.
Roll that beautiful D6.
Is that me as well now, or is that Greg?
I was going to give that to Greg, but I think I'm going to have you.
Don't I just choose who rolls it?
I'm sorry, what?
So don't I just choose who rolls it?
Yes, I'm dumb.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Thank you.
Jim, why don't you go ahead and roll for...
I'm imagining at the table, I would have like a chip or something, and we just kind of push that around. I think that's... But here we don't have that, so...
So what am I rolling? I'm rolling a 20 here, or?
Nope, I'm sorry. So you are rolling for Hoy-Jung Park, who is currently at bat, while JJ is on second base. So you're going to roll the D6, the team usage die.
Okay. I got a 2.
Okay. With a 2, that is not awesome. It is an out. The die size remains the same. I'm going to say that it is Hoy-Jung Park hits it to the left fielder. And you have the sign to go if you feel like you can make it. There, JJ. As the left fielder catches it, he's got to, of course, throw all the way across. I'm sorry, right fielder. I said left field. I meant right field.
So if it's left, I definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah, sorry. Like I had it in my head, but I flipped the left and the right. Anyway, Hoy hits it off to right field. Right fielder catches it. It is Kevin Taylor, who's got that really good arm, but he's got to throw across the diamond. You're going to tag up and go. If so, your challenge rating is going to be a 4.
And I'd be on third with 1 chance for. Yeah, I guess I better.
I think you should. Especially with an 18. You just need to roll under a 17.
Oh, yeah, this famous last words.
I'm trying to curse you.
Let's see. You did not. It was a 14, though. So
all right, sweet. It is close. Third baseman Jeff McNeil thinks he's got you, but ump says that you're safe. And then there are more curses that are hurled towards the umpires.
Except here, it's not literal maledictions. Like, may your family through 7 generations suffer boils.
Yes. They don't call the ump blind. They just curse their third child and stuff like that. Sweet. So you are currently on third with 2 outs, right? Because you led off. Hoy hit you. You crossed off. So now it is Tim Lynch with 1 out. And Jim, who is going to roll?
Assuming they don't just walk him to set up a double play, then I think it's Keith's turn to roll.
That is so much more interesting to me. So I think that's what they're going to do. Yeah. So I'm going to take the die out of your hands. I think that's exactly what happens. So I'm sorry. Garrison Bautista is out at this point. So there's another pitcher. Let's grab that substitute pitcher who's been pitching all this time. We just didn't mention it. And that would be Mickey Janis. I'm sorry. It would have been Magliozzi because he was warming up. Johnny Magliozzi is the pitcher, and he walks him on 4 straight pitches. And now Tim Lynch is on first. JJ, you are on third. There is 1 out, the top of the 9th, and that is when They Might Be Giants starts playing, and it's cut off abruptly. Like they didn't even get very far in the song.
Dun, 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 dun. That's it.
That's the whole thing.
I think Douglas Byrd is like glued to the television set in the little medical suite. Like,
oh, nice.
And I come up and get in the box. I swing at one and whiff. He throws another, and I lay down that perfect bunt that I'm allowed to do once per game, so we can do a suicide squeeze.
Oh, these bunts! What is up with this? A suicide squeeze is insane. That is a challenge rating. It's perfect bunt. It's perfect.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. I can move base runners. Yeah,
it is a perfect bunt.
Yeah.
So it's just to move base runners. So you're out. It's 2 outs, but that suicide squeeze, there's nothing they can do but toss it towards first and barely get you out, Ski. But now Lynch is on second. JJ, what does it look like when you score, though?
I'm wondering, was that what they told you to do?
Or we had that. I think you and I had that worked out. We totally did. Like, I'm gonna swing away at the first one, but then take off. Trust me to lay it down.
I don't think I have a good poker face either. So when you pointed at the first one, I'm like,
I can see Gary Ingram like reach over, like taps your shoulder, like shut up.
You're gonna blow the whole deer. No, they don't understand laughter here. It's fine.
Oh, that's true.
It is perfectly laid down. So like, I am churning the arms and the legs and like head down, got the aerodynamic posture. Like this is gonna be a close play at the plate. And I do my best slide, and I realize the ball hasn't even gone home. And they just had to throw it to first. The bunt was too good. There was no play. And I was like, I did not need to try that hard to score. That was a really good punt.
Nice. That is amazing. David Williams is up with 2 outs. You guys currently have it was scored as a sack. So not a hit. And it is 5-4. David Williams comes up with Tim Lynch on second. And so who rolls?
I think I've got it.
Yeah.
I think you do
Okay.
too.
And we're still
This
the
is
same.
very challenging. I've got to find a different way to do this.
I can put a token in the roll for your party and we can pass it
Yeah,
around.
good call. Good call, Greg. Thank you. Let's do that.
All right, let's see how he does. 6. I'm gonna roll the dice all the time. Okay,
Gets a double. And so that double scores another run. You guys now have 10 hits for the game. Shoot, I didn't want to do that. And you're now up by 2.
we gotta let Walter know how good he did when he wasn't here.
David Williams is amazing.
He might want to not show up more often.
Hope he does show up. Terrence Robertson, who had a home run last time he came up to bat, is up now. Still 2 outs. Man on second. None other than David Williams himself.
Let's hand that over to Greg.
All right. D6. Hopefully this will go better than it has before. Oop. Oh, hold on. It's a 1.
Listen, you're consistent.
Saving all my luck for tomorrow morning, Rich. Okay.
All right, so that team usage die, I'm going to make you go and move it down to a 4. Go ahead and do that, please. I want to get like a bunch of the big dice for when I play the set of table for the team usage die, like the full polyhedral set of the Giganto ones. So you have to swap them out.
What happens if you roll a 1 on the 4?
About to say we can't go any lower.
Oh, I think in the rules, what I said was that someone get. Oh, let's see. When you roll a 1 on a D4, the lowest die in the chain, something terrible happens. A PC takes an injury, an opponent team scores, the crowd starts to boo incessantly. This is up to the ump to decide. But it'll stay at D4. So basically, it triggers a catastrophic event, and then like a triple play or something.
And there's no way to actually get a runner on base with the D4.
Is that true? That is interesting.
Yeah, with the team usage die, 1 or
it's
less.
It's all outs.
2 or 4 is out and remains
terrible. That is the worst. I may have to think. I have to rethink that and put a 4 to be something. Okay, that's good feedback. Okay. And with that will end the top of the 9th. And poor Terrence Robertson. I think what Terrence does is it's one of those where the bat he hits it off the end of the bat and just kind of dribbles out, and it's a nice play by Levi Michael, the second baseman, throws him out at first, and nobody scores and then leaves the men stranded. And that is the end of the top of the 9th. Comes to the bottom of the 9th, and Chaz Hebert is not your closer. He got to come in for 1 inning. But they want somebody fresh to make sure that no one screws the pooch. So your closer, Michael King. Michael King comes in. Michael's actually a pretty good hurler, not great on control, but that can put the fear of pain in somebody. So I think, Greg, you get to determine who rolls.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass it over to Jim.
All right, Ski, roll that D20 and let's see if you guys close out the game.
You bet. Let's see what we got here. 17.
17. So it turns out that a 17 in this is pretty good. Opposition half inning, a 17, no scoring. Opponent team shut down. Michael Stephen King is a nightmare for these guys as he is able to dial it in. He does walk 1 guy, but he strikes out 3. So he 3 up, 4 up, 3 down, but no scores, no hits. And you guys are able to advance in the losers bracket. You have won this game 6-4. The Innsmouth old ones, I mean, they're not that sad.
Not much sadder than usual.
Not much sadder than usual. And the Gauntlet City Goblins will advance in the losers bracket. They will be playing against the. You guys are on the tourney results there. I am updating that information. The Pondsmith Cyberpunks pulled off. They scored 3, but the Renraku Runners scored 5, and they advance. And based on your regular season results, guys get to play against the Renraku Runners in Gauntlet City. So you don't have to go all the way to Renraku. And so let me go ahead and the Riften Dog Boys shut out the Deadlands Hucksters. And they advance to the championship. But things aren't great. The Longville champions put forth a heroic effort, scoring 3 runs, but the Galarian Pathfinders, your hated rivals, score 7. And they advance to the championship against the Riften Dog Boys. So it's Pathfinders versus Dog Boys for the championship. In the losers bracket, it is the Goblins against the Renraku Runners, which you guys have a couple of days off, which if you should use wisely. Frozen peas is not recommended. So you guys have a couple days at Gauntlet City. You guys get back from Innsmouth to warmer climes here in Gauntlet City. It's August, so it's nice nights. And we're going to take our one and only break here, our little bio break. It's 21 after. Just because I like even numbers, we're going to call it a come back at 28 after. So it's a 7-minute break. There's some odds and some evens there, but it works out. Trust me, I do math for a living sometimes. And so we'll see you guys in 7 minutes. I realized I should back up a little bit. You guys don't get on the bus and go home. You've got to deal with the media.
First, I thought you meant back up from the camera, like get a wide angle. That's much better.
Hand gestures.
Look at all that rich again.
My whole arm. I was just telling them, Jim, before you jumped back, that I moved too fast. We have to do dealing with the media. Like, you guys celebrated. You just won a game after losing. So
Yeah, Jane Forrest just got a question about a highlight play. I know that. I made a note.
She certainly does. So I think she's the first person you're going to ask about, or she's going to ask about. So she sends in the Bat Boy, and he comes, Mr. Hawk, Mr. JJ, Jane.
I forget this kid's name. Did we give him a name last time?
I think we gave him a name.
Or is he a rotating cast of children?
He's a rotating cast. No, it should be the same. We should have a connection to our Bat Boy. I now need to add Bat Boy to our roster. I'm doing it right now.
Was it Timmy?
I want to say Timmy. It sounds right.
Hey, Timmy! And I start doing the handshake, high five that I have with Ski.
Oh, he's just blown away.
It lasts for about a second before I end up smacking him like on the side of the head by accident.
Yeah. Thanks. Jane, the reporter lady, she wants to talk to you out there.
Yeah. I hop up, and in contrast to after the last game when I was like slowly tying my shoes and getting presentable, as I'm like, I got one shoe on at this point as I brought it out. Miss Forrester.
And for those who take a shower in the Innsmouth Old Ones locker room, instead of it saying H and C, it's actually C and T for tepid, because that's as warm as it gets. So anyway, so you head out, and Jane, she beams. And she says, here we are, the hero of the hour, JJ Hawk, here on KGOB. So excited to have a chance to talk to you, relive that moment. Can you tell us a little bit about that play? You know the one I'm talking about, right?
Is JJ still, like, you still got your uniform shirt on and stuff like this, like
big
mud, covered in mud and all that kind of stuff?
I was gonna say half changed, but it probably makes more sense that maybe
undershirt only kind of thing, or it's
I think like untucked and disheveled, but still wearing the uniform. It's like I was in the process of getting changed, and I'm like, oh, she wants to talk. This will be a much more fun.
Can't pass that up.
So she starts to ask the question, and I say, "Excuse me, just a sec." Like my hand comes over his shoulder, and I say, "Hang on." I said, "What, dude? What are you doing?" And like I have a can of Scotch Guard in my hand, and I like over in front of his uniform, and I kind of like give it a little like a pat down, and then I like tuck it into his pants, and I'm like,
come on,
way better, go get him, Tiger, and then back into the locker room.
Jay's still laughing. A little bit of hard for radio, but let me describe the Ski.
Oh, there's no cameras. Great, that's good. That's even better.
He just came in and helped to make sure that JJ is presentable for his interview on the radio. Thanks, Ski, as always.
Gotta look good for the airwaves.
It's great. Good stuff.
You know what looks good is a 5-3 win. Gosh, I hope that was the result. 6-4 win.
It does. Even better than a 5-3. JJ, you were definitely the player of the game here. I was amazed by your speed. There are a lot of rumors that you may not make it all the way through the cup.
Is that because of all the terrifying things in Innsmouth?
Oh, well, I didn't. I hope that you can make it out of Innsmouth. you guys want to, if your bus wants to follow our van, you're welcome.
That's good. I understand. The roads are labyrinthine. Anyway, yes, it's a great game. I love scoring runs. I love it. I'm not the guy that's gonna hit the ball that scores the runs very much, but I love crossing the plate. And the boys gave me 2 great opportunities to do it. You know, I love to challenge myself, and the right fielder of the old ones has a heck of an arm. So being able to test myself against him was a real treat. And literally out of character, I just don't remember who hit the sack fly.
Oh, that sack fly, I want to say was Hoy.
I can't remember if he just, because I had the triple and maybe.
Well, it wasn't Little Bird and it wasn't Ski.
Yeah, it was what, like you came in
It
right
was
away.
immediately afterwards. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, my roomie got it just deep enough, and it was a really great play. Ski was out there; he was directing traffic, telling me which side of the plate I needed to go to, and we've been working on that in practice.
Well, it definitely paid off. Nice to see some hits as well. You guys got on the board within the first 3 innings. You're still down, though. It really wasn't until that last few innings when you guys really came alive. That was some really amazing teamwork across the board, up and down. Really worried about Douglas, though. I mean, that's the second time he's injured that leg.
Well, you know, he's a gamer, and I think he doesn't have 90%. He goes 100%, and his leg couldn't handle it. So I don't think it's a new injury. I think he's just exacerbated that old one. But now we got a few days off, got home R&R, and hopefully he'll get back to fighting trim. But if he can, I know Timmy's gonna do well. Not you, Timmy. Tim Lynch.
Oh, good.
And I think it's at this point that Douglas shows up. He's got a big ice pack on his leg, puts his arm around JJ, and goes, "Yeah, I heard you, Brick. It was a great triple. This guy right here, JJ Hawk, bringing it home in Innsmouth, stealing the bases, rounding the circuit. Look, this guy." And I'm like looking for the camera, but there's no camera.
Oh yeah, but I mean, there's no like moving camera, but I would imagine the KGB like they're, oh, can we get a shot with you 2 guys together? And then she's got a little photographer guy who hangs around, and they'll take a shot for the newspaper article as well. She pulls double duty, you know. She's star reporters, they do that, especially in small outfits like the Gauntlet City Goblins media crew. It's really great that you were able to make it out here. We weren't even sure if you could walk. You had to be carried off in a stretcher. Can you tell us a little bit about that play, Doug?
You know, I just like JJ said, I give it 100% every single time. And you know, it's harder to give your 100% when you've had an injury. And I thought I could make that one, and I just couldn't. And I'm going to bounce back. I'm looking forward to the game against the Runners. You know, I always bounce back, Jane. You know, I'm always in the next game. And I look forward to seeing you there.
Ooh, nice. I think you need to make a likability roll there with that. So why don't you go ahead and roll your likability, Douglas Bird?
It actually went up a little bit.
It did. Look at you with that 11 likability. You got a 50-50 shot here.
There we go. That's a 19.
So yeah.
Is there a luck stat I could burn in this game? No.
I mean, so one thing that we didn't use any of this session was the teamwork pool, which you guys are going to get some more teamwork pool for this. And that's something I want to ask you guys about during feedback is like, what's the utility of teamwork pool in the new paradigm of the diamond crawl and the usage dies. So I'm telling you that so you can formulate that for later. But yeah, that she makes a face like this is not the appropriate time to have this conversation. But she moves on and she says, "Oh, Doug, you really should take it easy, rest up. We've got a few days before you guys have to play the runners, and we are all pulling for you to get better because this team is so much better when you are on the field." Timmy, could you get me Ski? I know he's around. And Timmy's, Mr. Ski.
I actually, like, when I did my little shtick with JJ, and then I went to find that kid that looked so upset that Little Bird got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, when she finds me, I'm with that kid with my phone out, and we're recording a get well message to Bird.
Oh, that's cute.
Like, from his biggest fan,
like
you know, like, yeah, exactly, yes, yeah, you know, and you know, like I went up to, oh, that's right, because we're like 80s or whatever. So,
the Team VHS player.
Oh no, no. So I've got a you know what? I would have a I'm having him write a get well note.
Oh yeah, there we go.
On the program, and I told him that I'm going to bring it to Bird, and I know that that'll help him get better quicker if he hears from his fans.
Oh yeah, and the kid he like signs his name, and he's got to be a Billy, right? So he signs his name Billy, and then he hands you that foul ball that it got, and he says, "Could you ask Mr. Bird, Mr. Little Bird, to sign this ball for me?"
I can, but it's gonna take a while because I'm gonna have the whole team sign it too.
And the dad like pats him on the shoulder and says, "We can wait, son."
And I like wink at the dad, and I bring the ball down, and you know, I like come back into the dugout, and I say, you know, hey, everybody, you know, anybody who's around, throw a signature on this for that kid who was upset that Bird got hurt.
And Tim Lynch is like, "I don't know. I got some playing time out of it. I wasn't so upset." And he laughs.
So sign the ball as a thank you.
Oh yeah, thanks for getting hurt. He's like, right, real small. They toss it around, Ghost Case signs and like some kanji and stuff, and he tosses it over. But how does JJ sign? I'm kind of curious. Is it like big loopy signature? How much of the ball does JJ take up?
It's two big J's, yeah.
Two big J's. That's very cool. What about Ski?
Ski just it's SKI, like, you know, like a kind of loopy. It's like a regular handwriting S, but then like a cursive KI. You know what I mean? Like that. Some people kind of have mixed handwriting like that. That's what it looks like when I do it. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And then finally, Douglas Bird, you get a ball with a bunch of signatures on it. There's some space.
Yeah, so I circle Tim Lynch's with a little thing, and a little note up. It just says, "This guy." And then, Douglas signs it, you know, not taking up, not bigger than anyone else's, but it's Douglas, and then the bird part, the B, the Y, and the R actually sort of blend together and make a little bird.
But I will say this. I have a red pen that I give him to sign so that his name is red, but the rest of us are
red.
black.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Yep.
That's cool. That's cool.
You're going to make grammatical corrections with your red pen.
I was like, what?
No. But so that his signature stands out from the other ones, because that's what the kid wanted. So,
nice.
And on the way out, I say, I catch the reporter there, and I say to her, "Oh, hey, there was this kid that was crying when Bird got hurt. So I had everybody sign a ball for him. You want to come You want to come see me give it to him?
I'd like
Oh,
to come
yeah.
too. I'd like to like be fighting off the medical staff to go see the kid.
Sure.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay.
great.
No, hang on. Let me give it to him, and then like,
Then you show up. Oh
yeah.
Like-
Give it a second. Yeah.
Jane's like,
grab
oh, this is
some
this is
goblins
amazing.
from the cabinet.
Yeah. And so I go back out and I've got the ball and I'm like kind of like doing this as I walk up to him. And
He starts bawling. Billy starts bawling immediately. Like he sees the ball and it just tears. And he does the that like can't breathe for a moment there. And he reaches for the ball. Like it's
well, and I get over there and I, and I like, kind of do the like, one knee down, one knee up thing. And I'm like, hey buddy, you're a big time fan now. So you got to take care of this. When you get home, send Big Bird a letter, send Little Bird a letter telling him where you put it and how you're taking care of it. And that's when like you come out and say he can tell me himself or whatever it is you're going to say.
Yeah. And Mike, and before you got out there, Little Bird, Mike Hernandez, he's like, hey, the runners might be scouting. So here, take this crutch.
Yeah.
Like shoves the crutch at you. Just turns out there are crutches in the locker room here.
Yeah, after last time, there's crutches.
Well,
so I'm out on the one crutch.
I want them, and I want them to be like World War I era.
Oh yeah,
like Victorian metal, like uncomfortable. Yeah, Innsmouth crutches. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll just get down by the kid. Like maybe take off my hat and sign that as well and give it to him.
Oh, nice.
And be like, hey, little man, don't you worry about this little bird. This little bird's gonna fly again. I hope to see you there.
Cool. And Billy's dad is like, we're definitely going to get tickets, son. Don't worry. We'll see a little bird. And he's just bawling and can I hug you, Mr. Bird?
Sure, kid.
Nice. He throws his arms around you. It's a big tight squeeze. It hurts a little bit as he kind of dinks against your knee.
He's 3 feet high and hugs your bum leg.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. He pulls back. So I really need to see a likability roll from Ski for setting all this up. There's no challenge rating to this. It's just how well it comes across. You got a 17, so I think you're going to be okay.
I got a 10 under 17.
Okay, cool. So it's not highlight worthy. It's not going to be up on SportsCenter, but it is definitely pretty amazing. And a few pictures are taken of you guys, and that is fantastic. So I believe as we go through the teamwork pool that there was a lot of credit that JJ gave to Little Bird. So I'm going to let you boost that, JJ. You can take your teamwork pool from a 2 up to a 3. Ski your whole plan with Little Bird and his biggest fan. That definitely gives you a teamwork pool as well. Last but not least, I don't know. Let's talk. What do you think? You think Little Bird did some giving credit to others? I think so. But I want to make sure and check in that you felt like that's where you were angling as well.
Yeah, I was trying to jump in with JJ and
yeah.
sort of support there.
This guy here.
This guy.
Look at this absolutely. Guy. Absolutely. I just want to make sure that was your intent. That's what I felt. So you guys are up to 2, Little Bird and Ski respectively. Cool. So now things start to settle down, and it is pretty early in the morning when you guys arrive back in Gauntlet City, and you can head to your respective places to crash for the evening. Coach tells you guys don't bother to report until 3 o'clock tomorrow, so sleep in. And he tells you, Bird, you are not going to be practicing with us tomorrow. It doesn't say it like it's a punishment, but Mike wants you to rest up, heal up, and don't do anything stupid.
I think I might try and see a physical therapist or something for my ankle to try and get a little work done.
Nice. Cool. So, I cannot remember what like day of the week we were at, to be honest. Anybody have any? I didn't think so. That's great. So we can make it a whatever we want. So I'm going to say that the Friday night game was, this was not a Friday night game. It was a Sunday night game. Because it was Friday and the guys had a day off and you traveled and played in Innsmouth. So it is Monday when you guys wake up in the morning. So, well, did at like 3:00 in the morning in Gauntlet City, you guys just went to bed? Just checking in. Did anybody do anything other than go to bed? All right, cool. So JJ, you and your two roomies, which if I remember correctly, we have the Rook, Little.
Yeah, we got a foursome.
That's right. You had 3 roomies.
Yeah, Devin is there. We got the bus. And,
yes, that's right. Devin,
his legendary snoring, and Hoijun Park, who likes to keep it neat and clean in our bedroom.
Ah, yes. Thank you for those. That is perfect, and I'm gonna note that. Cool. So, you were laying there, not quite asleep. JJ, Hoijun Park is laying in the bed across the way, and he says, quiet. It's one of those like last moments before you go to sleep. He says, they're going to call you up. They've got to call you up.
Yeah, maybe.
You're the fastest guy in the organization. They got to call you up.
All I know is we'll be here tomorrow. And that's all we can to play it by. I hope I'm still here for the game against the Runners.
Don't be stupid, man.
I want to see this thing out. We're still in August, right? So it's
it's still in August. It's still a bit early. Because
even if they do, it's not going to be till September when the rosters swell up like little bird's ankle.
True. Okay. I guess we'll have you through the series, but man, if they called you, you go, right? You wouldn't say, please wait, right? You wouldn't do that, would you?
No.
Okay, good. Because I will knock you out.
That was a believable no, right?
It was. I believed it.
It is what it's like 3 a.m. So yeah, it's hard to read tone of voice. So that's. I don't know what he would do. Be like, I like my boys. I like the team. I want to stay with it, but I do want to test myself against the hardest competition available. So I don't know what he would do.
Nice. Well, so that's what you get to go to sleep to. Those particular thoughts.
Well, he might be staying away for a little bit then with that. After Park put that in his head.
So, Ski, did you ride back on the team bus, or did you ride back with the fam?
I think like if we're going 11 o'clock at night here, something like that. I'm riding home with the fam, but the bus has a bunch of food. So like I basically like I buy my way off of the bus with my mom's food is how that works.
Nice. Cool. So you give a bunch of food to the guys, and then
like Tupperware with homemade sauerkraut and a bunch of pierogies and some grilled kielbasa and stuff like that.
Awesome. So you're riding back in the van, and your little sister, she's seated beside you. You're kind of zonking out. She's still pretty wide awake. She's like, Doug is okay, right?
He's better than okay. Did you see him? Sorry. Doug, like bird.
Yeah.
and I look at and I kind of pause, and I just sort of look at her and I say, only Doug knows whether Doug is okay or not, and if he's not going to tell us.
Well, I'm gonna go check on him tomorrow.
Did you go to? Oh my God! Did you go to med school this weekend? Holy cow!
No.
Mom, why didn't you say anything that she became a doctor
Don't be
on the weekend, or was it just physical therapy? What was it? Is she a PT? Are you PT now? Is that what's?
Don't be an a-hole. And then your mom yells from the front, language.
And I say, Doug does not need fans visiting him when he's recovering.
Well, you know, a little bit of the ski food is very restorative.
Yes, and if mom wants to make him something,
no, I'm going to make him something.
If you want to make him something, and his doctor says it's okay, I'll bring it to him.
Gauntlet City doctors are nothing. They don't understand the, like, you suck.
I don't suck. I don't make these rules. Why do I suck suddenly?
Because I don't know why you're blocking me. I just wanted to make sure that Duck's going to be all right.
This is like finger pointing time. I'm blocking you because I share a locker room with these bums. I know how they talk about women. I know how they talk about men. And you don't want anything to do with ball players. Trust me.
You always tell me that. I think Doug's different. He seems really genuine. He doesn't. I don't
know. You sure? I mean, when you were 8, you had a crush on his dad. So are you sure that's not this thing?
There's such a thing as legacy crushes, and they're legit.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So
he does look a lot like his dad.
Well, so here's my advice. When you meet him, be sure and tell him that. He loves that. He loves being reminded how much, you know.
She's like, not sure. She's really? I need you to make a leadership role to convince her of this.
Yeah, that's a neat use of leadership. That's kind of fun. All right, so let's see what we got. My stat there is
an 8.
That is just that's just an 8. I'm not good at lying.
No, it seems appropriate for you. Is that what leadership is? Lying?
I'm super. Well, leadership is telling people the right thing at the right time, rather than just trying to please them all the time, which is what I do. So, it's a 2.
She's like, okay.
Yeah, no. He he looks up to his dad as much as anybody does, and he loves being.
Who could blame him? He is so hot. He's like a silver fox.
His dad? Oh yeah. Tell him that.
Okay.
And scene.
Yeah, I see it. It's like I think Dad was about to go. Would you just let him get to sleep? Cool. So you arrive back home on the bus and head back. You hold down a job there, little bird. So you have your own place, or you have your own little apartment. How do you get there? Because your knee is pretty jacked. Walking there is a really bad idea.
Yeah, I've been there in real life more than one time. So yeah, maybe I hitch a ride with.
Oh wait, I keep saying knee, but it's ankle, right? It's ankle that has been jacked up for you, right?
Well, yeah, it was my ankle, and then apparently my ankle came out, and now my knee.
Ankle and knee, you overcompensated, right? So it's the whole side.
Yeah, and I love them so much. So I think the Gonzalez family actually is there to pick up David Williams.
Nice.
And they see me and are like, "Oh no, again!"
Juanita's like, "Oh my goodness, I heard about it on the radio. I cannot
Yeah.
believe that you have the worst luck. There is no way you're walking home." And
perhaps they have like food that they have cooked. So like I've just eaten a ton of pierogies. And they're like,
no.
me...
They have some food that they cook, but it's not pierogies. Like it would be
no. They have like enchiladas or something.
Yeah. They have,
and I'm like, no, I'm full. And I'll take a ride in their van.
They've got a truck, so
I'm in the bed. I'm in the bed.
No, they won't allow it. So Juanita is like, "No, I'll get in the back," and then Eddie Gonzalez is like, "No way," and he says, "Juanita, you drive," and then he asks David to kind of get in the middle, and you get to eat a bunch of tamales as you guys are riding along. And Juanita's driving in this big truck, big red work truck. Not for show. It's just a big, heavy-duty truck, and Eddie rides in the back. And then he drops you off at your apartment, and Eddie,
the 2-story or 3-story walk up, whatever.
And Eddie's like, "Wait, you're on the? Come on!" And they're gonna try to offer you an arm and try to help you get up to the walk up there. And it's
I swallow my pride and let them. It's okay.
And David's behind you. We're just going to keep him kind of silent. I don't want to like play Walter's character. I imagine he wouldn't just sit in the truck though. So Juanita does stay in the truck, and then they come in, and Eddie's like, here, give me your keys. And he opens up the door for you, and they bring you in. He says, "Do you want to just lay on the couch here? Or do you want to take you to bed? Like I can walk you in there."
Oh no, just the couch. The couch is just fine. I've got crutches. I'm sadly getting used to this. I'll be all right.
David's looking at the crutch, and the old World War I style crutch that's all got rust on it and stuff. And then Eddie says, "The tamales are here. You want me to get you a drink before we go?"
No, I'll be all right. Thank you for the ride. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, I know Juanita's going to come by and check on you later. Here's our number. He writes it down on a little piece of paper by your phone, right? If you need us during the night for whatever reason, just give us a call. Don't feel bad. Remember, you're our best first baseman, so it's in our selfish best interest for you to do well, so you don't have to feel guilty. This is how we support the team. We want you to get better.
Thank you. And yes, thank you.
And then they will make their way out. And what is the last thing we see of you, little bird, before the end of the scene? Like, there's that moment where it's quiet. Do you just pass out on the couch? Or
I think it's he does want to drink and he does want to go to bed, but he just realizes that he doesn't have to get up at all and do anything tomorrow, and so he just passes out on the couch.
Nice. Cool. So let's go ahead and spin up to the next day. And I'm curious, for Ski, you got back around maybe like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock at night before you're actually walking in and crashing in bed. How late do you sleep, man?
Probably like noon. Like I'm just, I'm wiped out. I think I am woken up at noon by the smell of food coming out of the kitchen.
You read my mind, because I was exactly going to I was going to ask, what is the smell? Did your mom wait and make breakfast late, or do you think that she's just cooking up some like nice kielbasa, sauerkraut kind of stuff?
We've got another game, right?
Because I have a couple days off.
Okay, so I think then she cooks for a couple of days before the games, because like pierogies made from scratch is not a thing you fuck around with. Like that's a major operation. And so she has worked, so she's got a couple of days. So she has started making stuff for the, she's probably boiling potatoes right now. That's probably what that's
Nice.
what I smell. Yeah. Is that kind of starchy, after the potatoes have been, like when you first throw them in, they don't smell like anything, but once they're getting there, you get that nice starchy smell.
Mhm.
And she's got a big, whatever, like a big, 6-burner gas stove an oven that she does all this stuff on. And, and so that's what I wake up to is, it's a smell that is frequently in the house, but it's kind of nice to like, oh yeah. Okay. And, my cat is, curled up on the bed next to me. Give him a little chuck under the chin, and you ready for lunch, buddy? I'm ready for lunch, and just throw on some shorts and a t-shirt and go downstairs and have lunch.
Nice. I see the ski family all gathers around about the same time. The potatoes they're part of the long term, so there'd be something else that you would eat, right?
Yeah, there's like whatever we've got. Like, because we work parties and stuff like that, right? So I mean, I imagine that we're kind of like home during the day, but working in the evening and weekends and stuff like that. So our schedules are a little bit reversed from the rest of the world. But I come down, and what my mom says is, put together a plate, which is what your Ukrainian, Polish grandmother, that's what you do when you're in a Polish house is household is you put together a plate. So, I grab a plate, I open the fridge, and there's a bunch of, there's Tupperware containers and, aluminum trays that I pull the foil back from and put a little stuff in. And I just put a big plate together and I throw it in the microwave and I nuke it for a couple of minutes and I sit down and I do that. So we've got the thing where there's a dining room where you have like nice sit down meals,
Mm-hmm.
but there's like a dinette table in the kitchen so that you can just like sit at the kitchen and chat with, so I sit I just put the plate down and I'm chatting with her while she's cooking.
Nice. Yeah, you're chatting with your mom,
Yep.
and she's listing out like they've got a party later tonight. And she said, "I know you've got the 3 o'clock practice," which you've finally gotten her out of saying rehearsal. And she says, "I know you've got 3 o'clock practice, so you won't be able to make it. That's fine if you can make it a little bit late. We may end up doing some encores. We're not sure. It's a wedding, and so we got to stay after." And she's just kind of running through and then there's tomorrow where we have 2 events, and then Stella comes in, your sister. She comes in, and you smell her before you see her. She's wearing perfume, and she has a nice red dress on, and she comes in and she grabs your fork and like stabs a little bit of food and takes a bite, and it does that thing like she holds her, and then she wipes and licks.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You missed it. You got some here. You missed some.
Oh,
right.
and she gets really mad, and she reaches into her purse and she pulls out her You're lying. I look okay. I should reapply, and then she takes a napkin and like leaves a little lipstick on it. I'm going out. I'll be back in time to go to the wedding. And she pats your shoulder. Says, "Get better, Ski. Feel good."
I'm fine. I didn't get hurt.
Okay, sure, Stosh. That's right. Of course.
If I did, would you do your hair for me?
No. Why would I do my hair for you? You're gross.
I don't know. Like if I was limping around, if I was on crutches, I mean, how bad would you have to feel before before you made an effort to to bring me food?
And she, oh, you're right. And then she goes over, she gets some Tupperware, she starts building a little bit of a Tupperware to go. You have a feeling it's not for you.
Oh yeah, no, I know it's not for me. That's yeah.
And yeah, she builds a little device like a thing, and she gets it all together. And then she reaches in, she grabs a knee high, and says, "Okay, well, I'm gonna head out. See ya, Mom. Bye, Stosh." So, JJ, you wake up around when?
I imagine that's more up to when all the other guys are up and moving around. When you live with 3 people who may have different schedules.
Yeah, so Hoy's the first one up, of course. He's up. He goes out for a little bit of a jog, and I think it would probably be Bus who kicks at the door. Get up, JJ.
He's not quiet.
No, he's kind of loud.
But I also think he's a late sleeper, so it's probably not terrible.
And he's like, "Hey, man, we're going to go out for like a, what did you call it?" And Devin says, "A brunch, man. It's fancy."
Bus, you never heard of brunch before?
No? Why would I
Wait
hear
till I tell you
brunch?
how they came up with the name. It's going to blow your mind.
Some kind of California bullshit? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You're a corn-fed boy. You grew up around here.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah, us coastal types. We brunch all the time.
All right.
You're going to love it. There's bacon and there's hamburgers.
Okay, you're talking my language.
Look, what do you think? I don't know how you guys do. What do you think about inviting Little Bird out with us?
There's like a moment of hesitation. Hoi Chun comes from outside. He's all sweaty. And he goes straight in to take a shower. And Devin's like, "You sure, man? He's kind of hurt."
I know.
He says kind of, and then he goes, "Hurt."
I think he's trying, though. You know what I mean?
Like, hey, he's first base. What are you gonna do?
Maybe it was the painkillers, but he said some really nice things.
And Dad was like, "Oh, so he butters you up, and now he's a good dude. He butters up the fastest guy in the whole team, maybe the fastest guy's ever played, wore a goblin uniform, and now he's a good dude. Just recognize his talent. He's not stupid."
I mean, he's got the potential to be a good dude.
And Boss is like, "Yeah, let's just invite him to brunch."
Besides,
Probably
he
knows
needs
what
to
brunch is.
get all the protein he can to heal up for future game day on the day I don't know when it is.
Oh, it's Tuesday night game. And it's currently... No, see, it's 2 days because Monday, Tuesday, so it'll be a Wednesday night game. There we go. It's a Wednesday night game.
He's going to need a strength for Wednesday. Bacon and burgers.
"I'm in," Boss says. He says, "Hey, you think Little Bird's ever going to end up making it to the bigs like his dad?" And they always like that whole legacy thing.
Yeah, I mean, multiple Crockers.
Double Crocker.
Ski and his twin brother Ski.
I love that when he joined, he had the exact same expression as the other Jim. So we had the double Jim, and I'm like, which one's the real Jim?
Sorry. So I had a little problem with Google. Rich, can you boot the one that's not talking?
No.
There we go. It just went away, so we're good. There we go. Cool. Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
No.
I like
need me to relink
which
you
one you have to boot.
Yeah, I've actually. This was a few years ago, but I'd actually booted the dead version, and it kicked the other person too. So I don't do that anymore. And they couldn't get back in because once you eject somebody, like sometimes you literally can't get back in on a broadcast one. So do you need me to relink you with character sheets or anything like that, or do you still have it?
You're muted in your response, Jim.
I politely muted myself. I'm all set with all the other stuff. Thank you.
Cool beans. So Bus like asked the question of like, you think he's going to get the call up, man? Maybe the both of you guys going together.
I mean, that he can rake, man.
Devin's like, yeah, but if he ever gets a hit, then you're going to be the pinch hitter because he's got no wheels.
No, come on. He can move pretty good. I'd say he's at least a 3-tool player, man. I know his fielding
he can't move too good right now, man. Bad leg, bad ankle, and bad knee.
Yeah, durability might be an issue. I heard some of the old ones calling him the glass cannon.
A bit of laughter. And just a few minutes later, Ho-Chun Park comes out and he's got a towel. He's like drying himself off. He goes, "Are we doing this brunch?"
Park's super into brunch.
He's all about the brunch. I think he may have germinated the idea of brunch today.
Yeah, everybody get ready for brunch. I'm going for my run. You gotta think, Bus. What did your dad do?
I'm not gonna tell you because you'll make fun of me.
I'm gonna make fun of you either way. So I mean, choose your poison here. Doug's dad was a ball player. How hard's that got to be? And he wasn't just like a cup of coffee guy. He was good. Like having to grow up in that shadow. No wonder he's so defensive.
All right, I think you're making a leadership role to turn these guys around about their attitudes vis-a-vis Douglas Little Bird.
Well, let's see. I got a 10, so anything's possible. But not today. That's a 20.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that must be super tough, your dad being able to get you on the team.
Yeah.
Choi-Hoon Park says his dad was really good. And then they all just start laughing. Like that's some kind of slam of some kind. And then before long, you guys are all like getting... Do you shower, JJ? Or you showered last night? I mean...
Yeah, I'm good. I wouldn't...
You're fine, right? You're fine.
But it does take like 3 showers to get the Innsmouth infield dirt off of you anyway. So
you still have the gray mud underneath your nails.
Did this look leprous? I
don't... So you guys throw on some clothes and you head out for brunch at one of the diners not far off. And anything specific, anything you wanted to happen at brunch, we'll maybe cut away. We may cut back into brunch for a little bit. But
no, I think there's just the scene of it's just the 4 of us. Whether or not they had previously agreed to get Little Bird, they didn't follow through on it after.
Yeah, with 20. Yeah, nobody calls Little Bird.
Oh, I thought you did. Oh no, it was you. Oh, oops.
Oh yeah, I think I got his answering machine or something. I don't know. Yeah. We pick up with a knock.
But you do see Bus like, I love brunch.
Yeah, he's just sitting there with like
bacon, Benedict with a burger on the side.
Like a fork full of some scrambled eggs and a burger in his right hand. And he's like, "Yeah, this is you West Coasters. You got something here." He's, I'm a fan. So Little Bird, you're woken by a knock. It is like 12:20.
I don't think I was expecting to actually get up this early. 12:20. So I'm sort of like panicked, running through my brain like, no, I paid my rent. No, I don't. Not expecting any packages. No, and I get up off the couch, and I think the couch is close to the door, and sort of leaning on thing, and I look through the peephole, and I'm guessing I'm seeing Stella on the other side.
You actually see your dad.
Ah.
He's in his security guard uniform. And the bird family security, basically bird security.
Horus, yes, Horus security.
Horus security. That's right.
The
That's
bird god of Egypt. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll open the door and be like, "Oh, hey, Dad. Hey, how's it going?"
He walks in, pulls the door, locks it. Security. A lot better for me than it is for you, son. Let's take a look. Have a seat.
All right. Okay. All right. And so I struggle my way back onto the couch and pull off whatever weird like mummy wrappings Innsmouth has put my leg in. And it's probably pretty swollen and red, but yeah.
What the hell? Man, they have bungled this.
Yeah, I know, but I was doing like you always say to do, Dad. I was giving every little bit I had, and I went out there. I knew my ankle wasn't great that night. I really did, and I managed to really favor the one, but there was just this straight ball right down the line, and I went for it because there was that error, and there was a lot of murmuring in the dugout after that error. So I went for it, and yeah. So here we are.
Son, I know you really care about what your team thinks, but let me tell you something. I can only name 3 minor leaguers that I played with. Okay? It's all in the past. Best thing they're going to remember is that they played with you. But they won't remember that if you never make it out of Gauntlet City because you hurt yourself doing something stupid.
Yeah. I don't know if it was stupid, Dad. It was an important play that I busted my ankle on.
He gets up and he walks over towards your kitchen. You can hear he like pulls out a bag, he pulls down a little like a Ziploc bag. He starts dumping some ice into it, and he comes back and he says, "Well, I'm all for making the right play, especially in this tournament when there are scouts that are looking at you for what they saw." I mean, God, son, if you can't even play the field, what are you going to be, a DH? Sticks the ice up against and you hold this, and then he'll head into your room and he starts digging around for some bandages, like some kind of stretch ace bandage,
compression bandage.
Yeah.
So he's like off somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'll put the ice on the wound and rapidly try and come up with a reason I don't have to have him at the it's like Dad, there's another practice today. Coach told me not to go, but I was gonna go and just watch, support.
What are you gonna watch? Son, come on. You need to elevate this leg. You need to focus on yourself.
Yeah, but
now we have twin Stetson.
Double Stetson.
All right, Greg, you're next. You got to double up soon. I just want you to know. All right. So he says, son, you need to elevate that leg. We need to get it on ice so that you can maybe have a chance of playing. Maybe pinch hit. I'm not sure.
If that's what you think is best, Dad.
Comes back in. He says, we're not going to wrap you right now, but Let me show you what you need to do, because I don't know who did that mess that we just cut off of you, but that was pitiful.
Did you ever play an Innsmouth, Dad?
Oh yeah, I played in Innsmouth.
Well, you were lucky never to end up with the Innsmouth doctors.
True. That's true. I wonder if it is Luxon. Maybe. It's just not in the cards for you. You got all the talent in the world.
It means a lot, Dad, but it is in the cards for me. Maybe it was bad luck. Maybe Innsmouth just kind of set me off with all of its gloom.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Well, have you eaten? Did I wake you up? You didn't sleep on this couch, did you?
I didn't want to force it and get to the bed last night. The Gonzalez family, that they're housing one of the other ball players. That they were super nice. They got me up here. But I didn't want to force it and try and get to the bed last night.
Do you want to come over to my house? I got the extra bedroom. It's a single level rancher. It's easy for you to get in and out.
I'll stay here, Dad.
Just be for a few days, son.
You always say I've got to earn it, Dad. I've got to earn it. Yeah. Well. All right. Anyway, let me show you how you wrap it. And he kind of hunkers down and starts trying to show you how he would wrap it. And then there's another knock at your door. Could you get that, Dad?
Sure, of course. He gets up and he opens the door, and you, from your vantage point, you can kind of see out the front, and it's Stella. And she's like, Mr. Bird. Yeah, are you to see my son? Yes. It's like she forgot it for a second. And then she just holds up the Tupperware food, like the Tupperware full of food. Like that is what will explain all of this immediately. And he chuckles and he steps out of the way. And in walks Stella Milnarski. And she looks at you. She's like, hey, little bird.
Hey, Stella, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Are you feeling any better today?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better. My dad is here. He's,
Closes the door. He locks the door.
Don't do that, Dad. Yeah, no, my dad's here just, help me wrap up my ankle. Did you bring pierogies?
Yeah, I did. These are pretty fresh.
Did your mom make them?
No. I made them.
Oh. I don't know if I've ever had your pierogies still. Like the kitchen's right over there.
Okay, let me put you on their plate. And she'll head into the kitchen. You hear this like drawers opening, utensils being moved, shoved aside, some humming.
Wait, that's not where that goes.
And your dad looks over at that and he's like, so, should I have met this girl before?
Stella's Stasha's sister. Ski. You listen to the games. Ski, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
the annoying
his sister.
one. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
He's a PR stunt, son.
He's a nice guy, Dad. And and that's his sister, and she's super nice as well. She no doubt heard me get injured and thought it would be a nice gesture. Stosh may have sent her over here.
Well, you and I have had the talk
with the nice hair. Yeah,
he leans in because you and I have had a talk about the fangirls.
I don't think she's a fangirl, Dad.
Well, I'm
Fangirls
just
don't bring
saying,
pierogies.
you do not need to be doing any of that kind of activity during this tournament, especially with that knee and that ankle. Okay?
I 100% agree, Dad. But you haven't had these pierogies. You need to have these pierogies.
I haven't had a good pierogi in a while.
Yeah, right. Okay. So sit down. Let Stella make some pierogies. We'll ice my ankle.
Deep. The microwave finishes up, and then she comes out with a little bit of couple plates of pierogies. Actually, she make 3 plates make up 3 plates of pierogies. And what would she normally have a pierogi? Would it be more kielbasa, or what do you think?
Okay, so first
sour
of all,
cream and
first of all, if she's like bringing him over to his place, like when I just come down to eat him for lunch, I put him in the microwave. There's no way she's putting them in the microwave at his place if she wants to impress him. Like, that's not a thing that's happening. There's a pan coming out, and there's a bunch of butter going into that pan, and then they're being finished in the pan. But yeah, but you'd have sour cream and applesauce is what you'd have with them. So
okay, cool. Yeah, so it wasn't a microwave thing.
On the side, yeah.
So she actually do you grill them up, or do you bake them, or how does she finish them up?
She would almost certainly grill them with some butter. Is how she would. So they're like nice, and so they'll be like a little bit crispy on the outside and stuff like that. You boil them to kind of boil them like pasta, and then they kind of come out like ravioli that you could just eat like that if you wanted to, but to really make them tasty. I mean, if you do it, no kidding, Ukrainian style, you cook the kielbasa first, and then you fry them in like the kielbasa fat and stuff. But like, you probably just throw down some butter and do it that way.
Okay, cool. I've had pierogies. I just don't know. It was just food that was handed to me. I don't know the whole pierogi style. Plus, I'm not a great cook, so there's that. Sweet. So yeah, you guys end up sitting around the coffee table because your dad refuses to let you get up off the couch right now. Although he does slide in a little bit about maybe you should shower soon. And then you guys eat up the pierogies, and Stella is the whole time very quiet, just watching between the two of you guys. Seems a little overwhelmed by this moment. Your dad, pretty assumptive, not a big deal to him. He just kind of digs into the pierogies, eats up, occasionally tells you, "Come on, son, eat. It's good. It's a lot of starch, but it's still, it'll help you." What's Little Bird's reaction to the pierogies, which are excellently made?
I'm gonna sort of look back and forth between my dad and Stella, and see if there's anything to, like, if he is making her uncomfortable in this situation.
He maybe should be, but there's just this thing where it glides off, like water ducks back to her. She just ignores any of the little slightly assumptive oddities that he has. She seems a little starstruck right now, and at one point she slips out like, I used to have your poster on my wall. And
Stella, I did too. I had my dad's poster too, and I actually still have it. And I point to the wall because there's the wall of my accomplishments and my dad's. Yeah, I know a lot of people think a lot of my dad, Big Bird and all the people in the yellow feathered hats, and he's just my dad. You like the pierogies, Dad?
These are really good pierogies. Maybe the best I've ever had. And I've had a bunch, honey. I mean, we traveled a lot to travel for the majors. I mean, we were up in Twin Cities quite a bit. You know, there's some really good stuff there. This is good. Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Bird. What? But you like him, Doug? She looks back to you.
I think you may have outdone your mom this time, Stella. I really do.
Oh, please, God, don't ever tell her that. Please don't.
Oh, I wouldn't dare.
But thank you. Your dad grabs a little paper towel and dabs at his mouth, and he's like, just here for a little bit. I've got to go do some rounds, son. You're off for the next few days, okay?
All right, I'm off. I'm off for the next few days, Dad. Fine.
All right. Okay. And he reaches over and he pats her knee and he goes, "You take care of him, honey." And he gets up and he'll head for the door. He says, "Stella, you mind locking the door after me?" He'll head out.
You don't have to do that.
And she locks the door. And then she'll head back down and she sits on the couch beside you. Not like right up against you, but before she was at a little chair and now she just kind of sits on the couch and she says, "Is there anything that you need? I mean, this is just food, but like, do you need anything? Do you want another drink?" And she picks up your glass.
No, this has been really great, Stella. Thank you for stopping by. Tell Stosh I say hi. Hey, did you drive here?
Yeah.
Because I'd really like to go to practice today.
I thought you were injured and needed to rest.
Yeah, that's what my dad says. Listen, I know my dad has a big ego and he did a lot of really good baseball. He makes mistakes too. I need to be with the team today. They need to know that I'm still with them and that I'm still there.
Well, I could take you.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
If you need help getting down the stairs, you can lean on me and stuff.
Sure. I guess.
Okay. And I think we will end scene there. Cool. So let's skip forward to the practice, and this is probably going to be, maybe one or two short scenes, and we'll bring the game to a little bit of an early close. And then that way we got everybody here for the game against the Raku Runners. So Douglas Little Bird shows up. Do you show up on time? Like, are you able? Oh, crap. Well, this is what it is. You're still injured. That's the whole thing, right? Just
exactly.
can
cheer from the stands next week.
Cool. I've forgotten. Like, it's the weirdest. Like, it's worked out kind of interestingly because we'll always have 3 people, but we have 4 people in the 4th game. Everybody's Bears. Going to be great. Good. So 3:00 rolls around. Do you imagine, like, does Little Bird show up a little bit late, or are you?
Yeah, probably a little bit late.
All right, cool. So JJ,
locked in by Stella,
you and the bus and Devin and Hoy Jump Park all kind of roll in together. And the thing that we have that kind of introduces you guys onto the scenes you're coming into the Goblin Stadium is that Devin says, "So yeah, his dad drives a bus."
Seriously? That's where you got the nickname from?
Jordan's like, yeah. That's where I got the freaking name from.
I mean, it fits, though.
It kind of does.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad nickname for you, dude. I don't have a nickname. Looks expectantly at the other people and just like,
Hodgin Park is like,
your mom named you JJ?
So
There's ski introduction. By the way, ski your sister took the van. How did you get to practice?
Oh, oh, my sister took the van.
Yeah, she didn't tell anybody.
Oh man. It's okay, so if my sister took the van, I'd ride my bike to practice.
Oh man, that sucks. You poor guy.
I really like riding my bike, but and people give me shit when I show up at practice on my bike, so I just lean into it.
Nice. Yeah, so yeah, you hear ski like your mom named you JJ and he comes wheeling in on his bike.
Can I revise showing up late so that Stosh actually sees the van as he's biking up?
Yes. Get past while you're biking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like one of those where Stella sees and like, oh God. Oh.
Yeah, I've got my head down, I've got my bike helmet on, I've got my my Walkman is
yes.
Is on and stuff. So
the blue muffy foam thing.
Yes, yeah. And I'm probably riding I'm riding like a 10-speed because this is pre, kind of mountain bike, road bike, like kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm just humping it in on my bike.
All right, cool. Yeah, so you came in. Your mom named you JJ, and
my dad gave me one J. My mom gave me the other. That's how genetics works, Ski.
And I stop, and I say, I expected that to go differently. I thought the J's stood for something.
I mean, everybody stands for something.
Well, but like the, you know what? Point to you. and I like, I've got that wagging finger, like I'm gonna work on getting back at you for this one, and then just go on into the clubhouse.
You guys head into the clubhouse and everybody dresses, and Little Bird, you come in as everybody's about to take the field. Are you still on that janky ass crutch? Or
yeah.
Has your dad got you a better pair of crutches, or?
Oh, don't I have a pair of crutches from last time?
Oh yeah, you have those crutches. Yeah, so you have legit
the
crutches.
Team crutches.
The team crutches. Yeah, they actually
maybe
say goblins.
Maybe they're green and blue or something. Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, I'll wander in on those.
They're for you.
For me. Yeah, I'll just like sort of sit myself down on the bench, and I've got like this big iced boot thing on my ankle, and say, I know I'm not supposed to be here, guys. I just wanted to watch practice this one time.
What do you think Mikey's going to say about that?
Listen,
manager, right? Yeah, Hernandez.
Yeah, Mikey's the manager. Yeah.
Yeah. I was following your wavelength.
I was thinking about Eric. I was like, I'll just be in the stands. I'm not running bases. I'm not hitting anything. I'm here to watch you guys.
All right. Well, so you end up sitting in the stands with Stella?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, did she stay?
I think so. Yeah, she's got to help you get around. And she waves. Hey, big brother.
Murmuring like, oh, I see Little Bird's got himself a personal nurse now. No wonder he gets hurt so often. What's her bedside manner like?
And then I think Devin will be like, hey, Stosh, like, are you okay with this?
Wait, the Bat Boy?
No, Devin. Devin.
Oh, I thought you said Tim. Oh yeah, Devin.
Oh, sorry, Devin. Yeah, Devin, the second base. Like
I mean,
at
they're
some
not
point.
separated by very many years.
No, they're not. They're really not. They're like twins. No, I think Devin. At some point, you guys are just jogging and stretching and limbering up, and Devin asks you, "Stosh, are you okay with this?" Oh, you're still muted.
He's speechless.
With what? Okay, with what? What are you talking about?
I think that your sister spent the night with Little Bird.
Well, since she left the house at about 12:30 today, I'm pretty sure that didn't happen.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe that. Okay.
No, she came down to the kitchen when I was eating lunch. She put together a plate of food for him. I told her that that the key to his heart was to talk about his dad a lot, and she went off to see him.
And that's when we cut to her Stella looking go, you know, you look so much like your dad.
Thanks. He is a lot older than me.
No, I mean, you're like a way younger version for sure. But he's a silver fox. I'm just saying you'll age well. You both are really handsome. And you look a lot like him. Right?
Thanks, I guess.
She gets the sense that this was not how this was supposed to go. And she just shoots a very angry look over at Stosh. You feel it. Like you feel in the back of your neck.
I always thought my dad kind of looked like the goblin mascot.
Laugh at that. I had his poster on my wall, and he did not, nor ever look like the goblin.
And I kind of like because if this is like a movie, I say that thing about his dad, and I say so things should be going south right about now. Hey, is she looking at me right now, or is she looking at him? I say to who was it who just asked me?
Devin.
To Devin, yeah.
Devin says, she is shooting daggers at you, man.
Yeah. Well, mission accomplished.
Cool. Do we have any last scenes, or do we wrap it up right here? Feel good? Feels like a good stop point to me. I just want to make sure if anybody had a thing they wanted to get to, they had an opportunity.
Yeah, I just think it's a pretty up-tempo practice.
Yep.
Except I wanted to throw out that at one point Bus gets a stomach ache because he ate way too much.
No, it's like, well, it's more than a stomach ache. Like you guys have to jog at some point, and Bus just like out from the outfield. He just stops and he does a few dry heaves.
Don't throw up in center field. Not in center.
No, he goes outside the lines, right? But he goes literally outside the lines and throws up. I can't eat 4 burgers. Shut up. Just can't keep them down. And so that will end our session. Now we're ending a wee bit early so we can do level stuff now if we want, or we can save it to the beginning of next session. What do you think? You guys want to do the levels real quick?
Yeah. I'm good at doing levels real quick.
Let's do levels real quick. JJ Hawk.
I'm definitely gonna roll a 19 on this speed.
I'm super seeing that happening.
No, it didn't actually.
In the Black Hack, I think you're maxed out at 18.
Really?
Makes sense.
I think so.
Well, I'll have to check that out. A second edition. I need to give that one another look through.
Can't remember the ones that I rolled twice. Speed is one of them.
Yeah, speed and hitting.
So I got a chance. No, even worse. All right.
Well, you can't get worse. So
no, sorry, worse roll.
No, I know.
Nope.
All right.
Go fielding. And leadership. Oh, and likability. All right. So some intangibles have gone up, but actual on the field performance is going to stay about where it is.
Cool. All right. So you're 4th level, man. That is awesome.
Ooh. Almost graduated out of the minors.
Mm-hmm. All right, Ski.
All right, so it's been a while since I played. I'm rolling a d20 for each stat, and I want to roll over what I've got right now.
Exactly. And for speed and hitting, you get to roll with advantage. So you roll 2d20.
Okay, so pull my green dice out into the middle of the screen here. So let's start with starting with speed, where I'm looking for a 13 or better. There's a 14 on one of my dice, so that's going to bump up by 1.
Yeah, nice.
Hitting, I've got an 11, so I'm rolling 2 dice
on that one. Yep.
and looking for a 12 there. There's a 12 and a 14, so that's going to go up.
And the rest of them are just 1d20? You need
Fielding, I've got an 11. That's a 14.
Dang. Leadership's an 8, so you need a 9 or better?
Yeah, that'll probably... And that's a 3. There we go. Apparently playing practical jokes with your sister about her relationships with your friends is not a way to contribute to leadership. Likability, I got a 17.
I don't see that going up.
6.
There you go.
So that's it. So opposite of JJ, my fundamentals got better, but my I did not get any more likable than I already am.
And you're in 3rd level now. And now, Little Bird, did you do yours? Let's get you some boost.
Can I re-roll? Was it hitting and likability?
Yours is hitting and likability, exactly.
Okay, so we'll do speed first.
Need a 16 or more.
Ooh, nope.
Okay, on hitting, you need 2d20, and you need an 18, 19, or 20. Good luck.
Oh, 20.
I see it. That's nice. Wow, you're a hitting demon. Fielding, you
I
need
can hit if I can stay not injured. All right, re-rolling for fielding. Ooh, an 18.
Wow, your fielding goes up then. Leadership, this one should be easy to raise for you, sir.
Hopefully.
Should be.
Yep.
Nice. It even feels right this time.
Likability. Do you get to read?
It's 2D on you on this one, 12 or better.
Ooh, double 14s.
Nice. So you're up on that. Let's go ahead and roll your effect die to see if how much hit points you recover. Or hit point recovery is a D6.
Hit point recovery is just a D6.
Yeah. Or, you could roll that team usage to have a D4 if you want.
D4? No, pass.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
A 4.
Okay.
I might not
withstand
totally take myself out next time.
All right. Good deal. So that wraps up the mechanics part to finish up things here. And next session, you guys will have your game against the Renraku Runners, which is going to be fun. And I've got a few things that are going to happen in that game, like off the field stuff that we'll do. So we'll bounce around and have some fun with that. Let's take a minute or two to just kind of step back and let us do feedback. It's a D-roll. Here, I'm going to take off my really hot hat that gives me that little band over my forehead. It looks terrible. It gets hot after a while up here. Good. So think about tonight's session and the current state of the rules. And we start with thorns. Anything that felt weird or hinky, anything that was confusing or less than fun, and specifically any feedback you have around the fact that no one used the teamwork pool. Now, I will take a little bit of a hit for that because I didn't remind anybody of it, and I know it's still in playtest. There are a lot of moving parts there, but I did find it interesting that that wasn't utilized at all, and probably a couple times we could have used it if I'd reminded people that was a thing. So I think that's a little bit of a factor, but it was definitely something we leaned on a lot harder in previous iterations of the game. It was one of those kind of early go-to type deals because it was about all you had. I think might be a factor, but anyway, that's it. So who would like to go first in Thorns?
I never mind going first. I guess the thing I was thinking about, well, just say the teamwork die. I just forgot about that.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that it didn't seem meaningful. Even last session, I had tried to gain an extra one so I could really deploy them at strategic points, and then I forgot to do that. So that was, just a button that I forgot to hit. So
it could be useful if early on I encourage the use of it to remind people of it.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if that's just to remind the GM to say it, or if there's something that triggers a way to remember it, or whatever. The thing I was looking at this time was the team usage die, and seeing some of the wonky stuff with that. Like we had Brick was able to get a triple, which was not super likely. It was a 1 in 8 chance, but for a catcher, it seems like it should probably be less likely. And we put a pinch hitter in for our pitcher, but like as far as the mechanics of the game, there was no reason to do that. If the pitcher went up to bat, he would have had the same odds of doing well. So I don't know if you want to work into challenge rating or something with that. And then we did notice that when the team usage die got down to a D4, you couldn't get a hit. So I'm glad we didn't have to actually run against that. But I don't know if there needs to be a different tables for the different die sizes or something, and then it gets more and more complex. But that
I think what really I'm gonna do is like just some kind of you get on base, but it looks crappy for a 4. I think is what I'll do. Yeah,
there's always the weird thing with like games with those like the highest number is good. Well, on a D4, even though if 4 is not a great result, you still have a 25% chance of getting the highest one. Like it's always weird how that works.
Yeah, it is. There's also the 25% chance of catastrophe.
You still think about that.
Catastrophe. All right. Thank you for that feedback, Keith. Who would like to go next?
I'll go ahead. So I this is the first time I've played this iteration of it. I haven't played in a little while. When was our last game, Rich? Like the game I played in like
April.
6 months ago.
I think it was April.
Or more like 8 months ago. Okay. So it was a much earlier version of the game. You've clearly put a lot of thought into it. One of the things that was really different, or that felt really different to me this time, was that there was a lot of we roll, you narrate. In the like, when we're making those team rolls and stuff like that. And so a whole lot of what we were doing, there was like 45 minutes or so there where it was just we'd click a die. We'd click a die and roll for your party, and you'd tell us what happened. And then the next one would click a die and roll for your party, and you'd tell us what happened. And my recollection from when we played before was that it was a lot more, I don't know, I want to say like Worldwide Wrestling style, where even if it wasn't our turn, if we kind of had the camera, we would explain what was going on, and then you would add flavor to that. And so like it just seemed like there was a lot less input on like story, not even and it wasn't even just the ability to narrate for us to say what the dice meant. It's an out. What kind of out? What does it look like? Is it and I think kind of and like that was my one real main thorn was that it felt like there was a lot of we were rolling and then you were telling us what happened.
Yep.
And we didn't have a lot of I mean, we had a lot of, I felt like we had autonomy when it was our characters, but there was no like the fun of doing it player by player kind of seemed like it kind of got lost in the mechanics of it there.
Okay. Yeah,
At least for me anyway, compared to the last time we played when it felt a lot more dynamic with us being able to narrate stuff that wasn't just our turn.
Okay. And I think that's just an approach thing can be easily tweaked. Okay. Thank you. Anything else, Jim? Greg?
So getting knocked out of a game for injury, it feels like there needs to be something more engaging about that. Maybe it's just because my character gets consistently knocked out for injury. But swapping over to playing another NPC doesn't feel great, because as soon as your other character is recovered, you flip back to them, and so it's sort of, playing Brick does not get me the same experience as playing Bird, who I started as. So like, and I'm struggling to come up with baseball movie fiction where somebody gets injured and then we engage with them off camera or outside the diamond or something like that. Maybe pull in more drama with the coaches or something along that route. So that when we come back to my round in the batting order, there's some engagement there with your original character. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the first baseman has sort of a trap. They're kind of stuck being a glass cannon because they have that D10 effect die that you roll on yourself for injury. And you have a D6 recovery die. The only thing I thought of is maybe if you added your level to your recovery die as sort of a flat bonus, is a possible way, but then you get somebody who has like a D10 recovery die and a 10th level and they're immortal.
Well, actually, the way the rules are written, you hit 5th level, you're so good, they promote you. So you exit play. Okay. So that would be a kind of cap there, but that's a really interesting idea.
And as far as the teamwork die, because you specifically asked for feedback on that, because so many of the roles that we were doing were not necessarily in a character ability role.
Mm-hmm.
They were teamwork roles, or they were hex crawl roles, allowing you to throw in teamwork and say, hey, how do you affect the first 3 innings? What teamwork thing do you contribute and gain advantage on that role? That might sort of destabilize some of that diamond crawl math that you have in that D20 table if you're rolling with advantage, because rolling with advantage is basically a +5 as far as the math goes. It doesn't work out that way really, but that's kind of the bonus that it ends up being.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to use it on that and on teamwork roles would be
interesting.
Would be interesting that you could, hey, I want to roll. I want Huijin Park to roll with advantage. We've got JJ on third. We really need this. How does Ski get up in Huijin Park and say, hey man, last time, or hand him the corked bat or whatever it is. What teamwork to add advantage on those roles would be an interesting way, because it seems to be that I can only give it to another player character
mm-hmm.
on one of their roles, and it just the way the diamond crawl part of it's structured, it doesn't seem like we're hitting those as much.
Yep,
as we're hitting those other roles.
I noticed that, and that's really interesting. Expanding out the teamwork pool to be more open to team rather than just other PCs is interesting. Okay. That's really good. Thank you, Greg. Anything else from a thorn? All right, because I do this in snake order, you are the first to talk about roses. What roses did you have from today's session?
I love Stella, and I love her pierogies. That whole little romance thing. I know I was being very cagey with it, but yeah, no, I think that's adorable. I love Ski. Ski is a great ball player, and bringing in the kid. I mean, you weren't even there for that session, but you bringing in the kid and saying, "Hey, no, I'll get it all signed up for you," and then having me appear and be like, "Oh, hey, kid," that was great. And then, yeah, I love the scenes where JJ interacts with the media because Jane actually seems to kind of have a thing for JJ. I don't know if anyone else has noticed. I think Jane has a thing for JJ because she always goes to him first.
JJ hasn't noticed, that's for sure.
But yeah, all of those scenes are always so good, and I love that that Walter's character David Williams was like a really clutch part of the game for us, even when he wasn't here. That was also really cool. I'm glad that we keep the characters still involved when we're jumping through the sort of open table play part of this. I'm looking forward to seeing what Douglas Bird is screaming from the stands this next game, or if he's back in. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. We'll see. Thank you, Greg. So then, Jim, it is your turn for some roses. What do you have to hand out?
Oh, I got roses to you, Rich, for Big Bird, and his he's a gimmick. That was awesome. That was so perfect. Like totally. That is totally how a serious ball player would react to my shenanigans, and I love that you put that in because my teammates all like me, but yeah, I could totally see his no nonsense wants his son in the spotlight baseball dad being all cranky about me being a goofball. I really like that. That was a neat little bit of humanizing, kind of a fun humanizing touch there. Keith, it's just I just enjoy Keith and I have played together quite a bit outside of the Gauntlet and offline, and I just enjoy playing with Keith all the time. And so the clear friendship that JJ and Ski had that we kind of just fell right into right from the very beginning was really nice. I really enjoyed that. I really like how they're and it also seems like it's that kind of thing where you're in center field, I'm in right field, and we're just hollering stuff back and forth at each other. And so either you get to hate each other or you get to really like each other. And I think it's pretty clear that we had a thing set up where we actually really liked each other, which I really loved. I thought that was great. And Greg, I totally appreciate how you just rolled right with the whole scheme, making it into a thing with your little fan there. And you just went right along with it. And I always appreciate it when people indulge my little drama flourishes. So thank you for that. This was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks.
Thank you very much, Jim. And last but not least is Keith. What roses did you have?
I mean, the usual thing of how the stats do such a good job creating characters. I got to see that with Ski and the way that Jim was embodying it. That seems like a consistent thing. So I don't need to harp on that. One thing I noticed specifically from this time as opposed to last time, and I know the caveat about small sample sizes, I thought the drama was back during the parts that were not player controlled. Like our game last session, I guess the diamond crawl part kind of fell a little flat, and it wasn't as vibrant as when you were creating the situations yourself. And this time it definitely felt more interesting. And I was like, oh, I really don't know what's going to happen. How's this going to play out? So the drama on the field was back, and outside of the field stuff is great. Seeing the interactions and everybody diving in and being like, I will take that offer you've given me. Thank you. And I will now amplify it and we will see where this ends up.
Yeah.
May I ask a question in relation to the thing that you just said, Keith, which was, I missed the first session. Did you guys play the first 6 innings in the first session? Or did we, or what, how did that work out? Because I loved jumping in at the 7th inning. That was great. All the boring shit was out of the way. And we got to play the fun part of the game that they show in the highlight reels.
So the first time I played it in Gauntlet Con, it may have been the same as when you played it before, where Rich just kind of had, here's the scenario. It's whatever inning, usually in the late innings, and you need to rally or you need to maintain the lead, or it's an extra innings and what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah.
And last time was the first time I played it with the Diamond Crawl.
First time anyone had played it with Diamond Crawl.
And I think it just wasn't tuned well enough, and like it seemed to be giving results that weren't maximizing the drama of the game, and it was just kind of like, this is a game that the fans are leaving the 7th inning because they don't care. And we're still playing it out. And we did play the first 6 or whatever innings at the end of last time.
Got it. Okay. But that was the thing that I wanted to know, was whether it wasn't clear to me at the beginning, Rich, whether you were just saying, but you were doing that same thing, hard framing it, 7th inning, here's a score, or whether you had played the first 6 innings last time and we were boom jumping in to pick it up. So
it was, and you didn't get a chance to see it. I just didn't want to invalidate. We had a little bit of extra time, so I'm like, okay, let's just get it to where we jump start. But yeah, there's a die roll for the first 3 innings. There's a die roll for the second 3 innings, and then you get into the opportunity to play.
Oh, that's fantastic! Yeah, okay, great.
I think it's like the best part of Diamond Crawl is that it is now a way to quickly get to 7th inning rather than just me hard framing it in, which I don't mind hard framing. I just realized that if this is a game I want to make for other people to run, that the Diamond Crawl is a much better option for people. And you're absolutely right, Keith. It needed some tuning. The table originally, like, they rolled crappy on the table. This table is not the table they rolled on before, and they were down 3 runs in the very beginning of the game. The first diamond, it was down by 3, and they never came back from it, dude. And there was some terrible base running
and an injury. Surprise.
Yeah. So there's some really good feedback, guys. There's some neat ideas and some definite things that I can try to address to make this game even better. So when we come back next week, there will probably be some tweaks to recovery, because that is a really good idea of adding the level. That is fantastic. And
triples, especially as you get higher up, like in the majors right now, they're like, I think it said, what was the statistic I was looking at? They're like 1 in 50 of hits. Like, not just not anything like at bats or anything like that. Like you only get to see 1 triple for every 50 times people put the ball in play and get on base.
I know it's almost to the point where I want to say it's a double, but you can leg it out to make it a triple kind of thing.
Or just take it off the chart altogether. Yeah, because it's so rare that it's
It is interesting because, like, there's so many statistics for baseball that you could probably model it exactly, but then it's like, well, you don't want it to be exactly the same.
Sure, yeah.
Because that wouldn't be exciting. But you don't want it to also be like, well, this feels like a video game. We just keep hitting triples.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a balance thing. I just the triple kind of came out of me at nowhere. I've never been in a ballpark and seen one.
But it's not. I think it's like once. It's a free training game, and it's good feedback.
Trying to steal it from Brick. Is that what's happening? Listen, it was a real triple. Brick hit it.
Don't take it away.
So what Brick had was an inside the park homer that he was too slow to actually pull out. That was how I was expecting you to narrate it. Was like, if it was JJ, it's an easy inside the park homer. But if it's somebody else, but since it's Brick, that's
I like the idea though of legging it out to make it the triple. I'm not sure how that works with a non-player baseball player.
I mean, and I think the answer is it just doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like there can be plenty of stuff in the game where for it to happen, it's got to be a player making it happen. That's totally, that suicide squeeze that we did. That's not a thing that happens if it's not a player initiating it.
And that's hard too for the first baseman, because you come up on one of those like, hey, you got a single, but it could be a double. And then I can't, like, the first baseman, the whole thing is you can't really leg it out. You have to manage on speed. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting as more ranges on that effect die.
Okay.
Is, hey, this is a single with a chance if you want to push it. And hey, we all play these games because we love push your luck.
Well, and I mean, I made a silly little reference to Strato before, but there's a lot of that in Stratomatic. If that's one of your touchstones, there's a lot of like, it's a double, you can pull, and on a 1 to 4, you can you do your flip card and you can turn it into a triple. So 1 to 4 out of 20. No, I'm not going to do that, but so.
Oh, JJ, you got another double. You want to leg it out? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you're JJ, like, and in the majors, I think that's probably what a lot of triples end up being. Is it's the fast guys turning long doubles into close plays at third that either that or it's something that probably should have been scored as an error but didn't, or whatever, and all that kind of thing. So
well, I have roses to give all you guys. Ski is delightful. It's so good to see him back in. I can't believe until we talked about when you last played how long it had been, because Ski is just such a fixture in my brain as part of Bat Hack and Gauntlet City Goblins. He's great. It was really fun to have him in. JJ was great. I really enjoyed the roommate stuff. That kind of conversation felt very roommates that I've had kind of thing. And there's just this nice unvarnished look at how guys can kind of relate to each other when they're friendly, but more roommates than like best friends who've known each other for a long time. So there's still a little bit like get to know you. That's fun. And I really liked the way that Little Bird dealt with like I could see his leadership going up because he's making an effort, right? There's a little bit of a turning the corner, a little bit of sticking stuff around, or sticking around for the team and trying to talk them up a little bit. That even though we didn't use the teamwork pool that you guys were gunning for, it was really helpful for me and exciting, because that's an important part. Like, I honestly really like the idea of a team that generally pulls for each other, because in the minor leagues, like, it's kind of idealized, right? Because in the minor leagues, I would imagine a person is like, yeah, I'm just here to get to the pros. I don't exactly care about you guys. I can see that being a legitimate thought process, but that's not what we want to believe a baseball team wants, right? We don't want the Michael Dorns of the world. That's my major league reference. You're just here for a paycheck. That's not interesting. That's not a fun story to us. So the idea of teamwork pool and people talking up others and stuff like that is something I really wanted in the game. And even though the mechanical reward wasn't something we necessarily saw value in this time around or remembered, right, either or, that pursuing the teamwork pool was nice, and I appreciate that. So we went a little bit over. I apologize, but let's let everybody go to bed on a Friday night. I will see one of you in the morning, and the others I will see when I see you. Thank you guys so much, and have an excellent evening. Thank you.
Good night. That was a blast.
See you later, everybody. Thanks. See you next week.